Up some pretty good yardage on the run, so I think Tennessee would like to really go that way. But if they have to go in the air, T. Martin is getting better and better. And, of course, the big stat on T in 2 years, only 1 loss.
Well, that's the key stat. Since the Georgia game, T. Martin has really started to play good football. Last week against Notre Dame, he had 3 touchdown passes, had another one running the ball. So for 4 straight weeks, T. Martin is really playing championship-style football, the kind of football that he played last year to lead Tennessee to the national championship.
And on the other side, I think the ball is in the hands of the quarterback, Sterner. And Sterner, of course, is one of those guys who's got experience, Andy. And he may be the first quarterback since the early part of the year that will really stretch Tennessee's defense. In other words, go downfield. No one's gone downfield against them in the last 4 or 5 games to any degree.
Well, a lot of the reason for that is Tennessee's great pass rush. The teams don't have time really to go downfield. But Sterner does have a lot of experience. He's been in these big-type games before. He was in the big one last year in Knoxville when Arkansas really had Tennessee on the ropes. He had the fumble late that really set up Tennessee's late touchdown. So I know he's been looking forward to this game for a year now.
Lucas is a big receiver who really burned Tennessee last year in Knoxville. A couple of big catches for touchdowns. He goes up over the defender. I think a lot of pressure today on the safety, Deion Grant, to help those cornerbacks out.
Well, if anybody can get the job done, it's Deion Grant. But Lucas is a fine receiver. He has great size, great speed, and he's had some really big games against Tennessee. So it's up to the Tennessee secondary and the pass rush to try to limit Lucas and not let him have another big game like he has the last couple times against Tennessee.
Tennessee is somewhat hurting in the receiver department, and let's find out about that from a former Vol receiver himself, Terrence Cleveland, down on the sideline. Terrence?
For Tennessee today, Eric Parker gets to start over and injured David Martin. David Martin injured his ankle last week against Notre Dame in the first half. He may play today, he may not. But for Tennessee, Eric Parker's been a very consistent wide receiver with 20 wide receptions for 266 yards and 1 score in last week's ball game. He's also a guy that T. Martin feels very comfortable throwing the football to. On the opposite side of him is Cedric Wilson. He's been Tennessee's go-to guy all year with 45 catches for 633 yards and 3 scores. He's been slow, though, in the last 2 ball games by nagging hamstring injuries, and Tennessee needs him to be 100% today and come up with some big plays. Behind those 2 guys are probably 2 of the best young receivers in the country, Dante Stallworth and Leonard Scott. Dante Stallworth had 7 receptions and 173 yards in the last 2 ball games. Those are big numbers. Look for those 2 guys to come in and support Cedric Wilson and Eric Parker and come up big for Tennessee at wide receiver today. Back up to you, Bob and Andy.
All right, thank you, Terrence. It's big, big, big for Tennessee. Andy, they have moved into the number 2 spot in the nation in the BCS rankings, and they certainly want to maintain that here today, at least, maybe even gain some ground if possible.
Well, that's true. And the way to set up these days, not only do you want to win, if at all possible, you want to win by as many points as possible. So that's another thing I'm sure in back a lot of Tennessee people's minds.
The stage is set. It should be a dandy in Fayetteville, and we'll be back with all of the action coming your way from Fayetteville, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Arkansas.
CSS, Monday night is volunteer night, with the man whose career record ranks first among active NCAA head coaches, the Phil Fulmer Show. Tennessee football. Can T. Martin and the rest of the Vols pull off another national championship? Watch CSS and find out. And UT Classics. Tennessee football too good to see only once. CSS, your sports authority in the Southeast.
Gretzky flips one in front. They score! Straight drop back. He throws. Great pass.
Hopefully they'll see me in those golf tournaments.
If you don't have time to watch, log on to grtv.com. It's the store that's always open. When you want to find out more, bookmark grtv.com. Still deciding? Shop at your convenience 24 hours a day at grtv.com. Did you forget the 800 number? Click twice on grtv.com. Simply convenient. On demand. grtv.com.
They're set to play football. Tennessee won the toss, elected to defer to the second half, so the Arkansas Razorbacks will get their hands on the football first. It's a fired-up team. The seniors are saying goodbye to the stadium. They have a couple of games left, one at Little Rock, and the other one is at LSU. This stadium seats 50,000, but as of next year, it will seat 72,000. We'll be telling you more about that in the course of the game. Leverton will kick off, and Cedric Cobbs is the deep man for the Arkansas Razorbacks, a freshman who leads the team with a 6-point average per carry. It's a nice kick by Leverton into the end zone, and Cobbs lets it bounce. Andy, in that particular spot, it appears to me there might be a little bit of a sun problem as you look back over the shoulder. So I think maybe that will affect some passing in that particular area.
Probably could. I think for sure Cobbs that time lost the ball for a second. That's why he didn't field it, because that ball was actually had the chance to field it.
Glenn Sterner will bring his team out. Arkansas and Tennessee, the Volunteers, have moved to number 2 in the BCS poll. They want a chance to defend their national championship. They know they cannot afford a loss at any stage along the way. Arkansas, of course, playing with pride, having lost some big games on the road. One victory at home against SMU. Here's a pass out in the flat. It is complete to Anthony Lucas. All wins for Arkansas have come at home. Anthony Lucas. Then you have Ball and White, Sandlin, Washburn, Williams, and Davenport up front. Davenport, a great tight end, by the way. You'll hear a lot about him in the course of this game. The backers are Williams. Sterner is at quarterback. Michael at the flanker, and Nathan Norman at fullback, and Chris Chikuma starts today at tailback. Although Cedric Cobbs will see a lot of action there, too. Here is Sterner out at the 25-yard line, looking at a second down situation, and Tennessee closes shop on Chris Chikuma, knocks him down after at most a half a yard or so. So it'll bring up a third down situation for the Arkansas Razorbacks, roughly 3 to go. Defensively, you have Ellis, Henderson, Walker, and Overstreet up front for the Volunteers. Although they will use several people, those are your starters. Westmoreland, Stevenson, and Thompson. Raynoch Thompson were linebackers. Andre Lott, Dwayne Goodrich, Fred White, and Deion Grant in the secondary, and they probably will be tested right here with about 3 yards to go for a first. Sterner sets a couple of receivers at the top of your screen. Brings one in motion. And rolls back, wants to throw, gets some pressure, and fires high. Incomplete, intended for Michael Williams, and defended by Andre Lott. So now it'll be Tennessee getting their hands on the football offensively for the first time, as Eric Parker will drop back. Chris Aiken will be punting for the Razorbacks.
So it's a good opening series for Tennessee on defense. Came out early with the first down completion. Actually, with pretty good coverage, but a great catch by Lucas. Then on second and third down, Tennessee shut down the run, and then actually got good pressure on Sterner on the third down pass to force him to throw early.
A little bit of pressure on the punter, but he gets off a beauty, and Eric Parker, as always, steals it. And he gets a little bit of room, but pretty good coverage by Arkansas, as Tennessee will put it in play inside their 35-yard line.
I think Tennessee went after that punt, and then when you do that, you're not going to have a lot of guys to help the return guy. Parker knew he was on his own, fielded the ball cleanly, and actually did a pretty good job just to gain a few yards.
There comes T. Martin out onto the field. Jamal Lewis will open at tailback, but you will also see a lot of Travis Henry today, both running real well. Cedric Wilson is in there at a wide receiver. The Vols go with a 2-receiver set, and they get it off to the tailback. And he gets practically nothing. Carlos Hall, right defensive end, made the stop for the Razorbacks.
Well, I definitely think Arkansas was looking for the run there. They came out with man-to-man coverage, safety up close, a lot of guys in the box.
Finlinson, Clifton, Weary, Riley, Coleman, and Tucker up front on the offensive line for the Volunteers. And then the wide receiver department, you have David Martin, Cedric Wilson. T, of course, at quarterback, Jamal Lewis, and Philip Crosby. Actually, I think Bartholomew probably is going to play most of this game at fullback. Here's T throwing behind his receiver, intercepted on the bounce. This could be a touchdown, and will be, by David Barrett. Well, the first big play of this ball game, an electrifying defensive play, goes to the Razorbacks, and they didn't need a whole lot to get them sky high, but they got plenty right there, Andy.
Hey, that was, you know, Dodson just kind of, it wasn't really a great throw by T. Martin, just a little bit behind the receiver, and that's all it takes sometimes. You got one hand on the ball, and then it's up for grabs.
Tony Dodson will attempt the extra point. 43 yards on that return, by the way. The extra point is up there. It is good, so the Arkansas Razorbacks break on top here in Fayetteville by a score of 7-0.
See, that's how crucial it is for a quarterback to be on target. You see T dropping back, not much pressure. The ball just a little bit behind Lewis. He got one hand on it, which actually would have been better if he hadn't even touched the ball, but, you know, tipped it right up. Barrett's right there in the right position to make the catch and take it on into the end zone. But that just goes to show how critical it is for a quarterback to be on target, and T that time was just a little off target.
And Barrett right on target in the right spot at the right time. Tennessee with two passes at him sort of there, T. Martin being one of them, and of course had a good wall of blockers with him to take it on in for the touchdown. So big play for Arkansas, and they break on top 7-0 against the Volunteers here in Fayetteville. The next time Tennessee comes into Arkansas in 2001, they will play at Little Rock.
See, Coach Foreman, I don't think that's the way the Tennessee coaches drew up the start of this game. Especially being on the road, that's a tough way to get the game going. Let the other team, especially at home, get the crowd involved. Now Tennessee's going to get the ball back. It's going to be even louder now this second series than it was just a minute ago. But it's important for the Tennessee offense to be able to come back, bounce back from the bad play, forget about it, and try to get something going here still early in the first quarter.
Actually, it was a pretty good idea, the play, because it was set up to gain a pretty good little chunk of yardage, Andy.
Yep, Lewis would have got it, would have set up a nice third down and short. Probably Lewis looked like he had 6, 7, maybe 8 yards. But again, just the ball was just a little bit behind him, and that's when bad things can happen.
Tony Dodson will kick off, and Leonard Scott, who leads the Southeastern Conference in kick returns, will be receiving. A track star who has done a wonderful job for Tennessee in that department this year. It is a gorgeous day. We're expected to get up to close to 80 degrees before the end of this ball game. Unbelievably mild weather. There's Houston Nutt, who's doing a great job in trying to bring the Arkansas program back to the glory years. Those years under primarily Frank Broyles, who's now the athletic director here. A native son they brought home to do the job. We've got 13 minutes to go. We're early in this ball game in the first quarter, and Arkansas is already enjoying a 7-0 lead on the deflected pass, interception, and return for the touchdown by David Barrett. All right, here's the kick, and it's into what little wind we have here today, and taken by Leonard Scott at about the 7-yard line, up to the 20-yard line, and maybe a shade across, and that's where Tennessee will put it in play.
Pretty good kick that time. Scott had to run about 40 yards over to the side to make the catch. So it was actually a pretty good directional kick by Arkansas. That's right into the teeth of the coverage.
14 yards on the return.
They had everybody there. It was actually a pretty good job by Scott just to get back to the 20.
Up front defensively for the Hogs, Randy Garner, P.J. Cooper, Kurt Davis, and Carlos Hall. The linebackers are Caver, Harris, and Flowers, very active out there, and your secondary. Here's the give to Jamal, and he spins for a couple of yards before Quentin Caver made the stop from the left linebacker spot. Lewis decided apparently this past week that he had been lining up a little bit too close to the line. Said he was going to back off and be about a yard deeper, and I guess wait for the hole to develop a little bit longer. Arkansas closed what little daylight there was down rather quickly at that point. 5 yards going to be stepped off against Arkansas at this point.
Yeah, Tennessee catches a little break with the offsides on Arkansas, but you know, with the Lewis backing up a little bit, maybe if more than anything else, maybe in his mind, just confidence-wise, we'll give him an extra step to see the hole and an extra step to gain some momentum towards the line of scrimmage.
So it becomes a 1st down and 5 situation with the ball at the 25-yard line. T. Martin gives off to his tailback, and he is hog-collared. Carlos Hall really ripped him down.
You see a flag, maybe might be the face mask. It's hard to tell from this angle if it was around the neck or the face mask. It was awful close.
It was the face mask. It should be a 15-yarder because
without a doubt.
You don't see people go down that hard, that quick.
Especially a guy like Jamal Lewis. He usually doesn't get turned around that quickly.
Take a look at it.
Oh, without a doubt. Well, tough to see again. I guess he did have a little bit of a face mask. He almost missed, almost had him around the neck. But another break for Tennessee. The play actually was shut down pretty quickly.
Well, it was the big one, 15, so it brings it out to the 39-yard line, where it's 1st down and 10 to go for the Vols at their own 39. 4 receiver set, 3 at the top of the screen. And the delay to the fullback. Big hole for Jamal Lewis. And he powers his way to midfield. Nice delay, nice trap that time. And it was Jeremiah Harper who made the stop from the secondary strong safety spot for the Hogs.
Well, another 1st down for Tennessee that time. As you said, Tennessee spread Arkansas out and then ran the delay draw with Lewis and the big hole up front. Nice job up front by the line pass setting, and then Lewis hitting it pretty quick after the delay. Nice job, nice setup, nice call.
We talked at the top of the show about Tennessee we thought would like to pound the ball and run it, and that's been primarily what they've tried to do. One pass they attempted was a disaster, though, and turned into 7 points for draw play here for T. Martin. He got a couple of yards on the draw. Arkansas scored on a pass deflection. That's where we stand with 11:17 to go in the 1st quarter. Arkansas up 7-0. Tennessee with a little bit of a drive going here, thanks in part to a 15-yard face mask penalty. Carlos Hall and Jamel Harris in defensively that time for Arkansas. Some 24 seniors saying goodbye to the stadium today in ceremonies prior to the game for Arkansas. There's Key getting it off to Jamal again, and he's struggling back to the line, and that's about it. They're doing a pretty nice job on Jamal Lewis. They're expecting his running, and they're getting it, and they're getting to him, Andy.
Tennessee came out in a formation really haven't seen this year. Both had 2 tight ends in the game, and both had what you call the flex position, or Tennessee calls a flex position, where they're not actually right by the tackle. They're actually flexed maybe 2 or 3 yards out in the stand-up position. Something I haven't seen from Tennessee this year. Obviously, something, you know, the coaches have seen something. They think that was going to work, but it didn't work on that play.
All right, it brings up a huge down for the Vols. 3rd down and 6 with the ball in Arkansas territory at the 46-yard line, and Tennessee is going to call a timeout. They're not happy with the set, and T. Martin decided to take it to the sideline and discuss the matter a little bit further with the coach and with the upstairs folks who are located just about 10 feet from where we are in the next booth. Randy Sanders on offense, John Chavis on defense, and their assistants. So they're calling something down to the sidelines. All right, we're going to take a little break here. It's 10 minutes, 9 seconds remaining here in the 1st quarter of play on this gorgeous day in Fayetteville. Arkansas leading 7-0.
The run for the title is on.
See you later. Touchdown.
It's college football season, and we've got your Big 12 excitement right here.
Absolutely sensational. Oh, my goodness. Right off the side. He's got it. Touchdown.
College football is definitely back.
The excitement of SWAC football is here. There is nothing better than a battle in the SWAC. The fans, the bands, and the football. SWAC football is the best. Don't miss SWAC football. It's the bright young stars of the future delivering the best in college football action today. Stay tuned to this SWAC television network station, the home of classic SWAC football.
haven't heard from the network that knows Hollywood best. The E! True Hollywood Story, every night at 9, only on E!
Tennessee is certainly one of the fastest football teams in America. And Andy, you were down on the field prior to the start of the ball game and commented on the grass being cut a little bit high here at Razorback Stadium, right?
Maybe the lack of being cut. And I asked Terrence Cleveland, I was like, you don't think those guys let this field get high on purpose, do you, since Tennessee's pretty fast? No, they wouldn't do that, I don't think. But if it slows Tennessee down a little bit, it's probably going to slow Arkansas down a little bit also.
But it is pretty deep down there.
Pretty thick.
All right, Tennessee looking now at a critical down, even though it's early in the ball game. They have fallen behind 7-0. They want to keep this momentum going. They need 6 yards to move the chains. Arkansas will try to dig in defensively. Hogs have been blasted on the road at Kentucky, at Alabama, and at Ole Miss. They have won their home games. One road win also against the SMU. They've got a couple remaining. One at Little Rock against Mississippi State, which for State will be a critical game. And they also wind up the season at LSU. Tennessee, of course, goes to Kentucky next week and then ends their regular season at home against Vanderbilt. Third down. 6 yards to go. Let's see what Randy Sanders has called for T. Martin at this stage. It's a pass. It's complete. It should be enough for a first down to Dante Stallworth. It was low. Stallworth went down and scooped it up, Andy, but it was in a spot where no one else could catch it.
It was low. Actually a really good spot. Stallworth just ran to the first down marker, got a yard past it, and then just a stop route, a hitch, and turned, and T. Martin delivered it right on time. And that's key to this kind of play, being on time. You see T threw it right as Stallworth turned around, and a nice catch by Stallworth. But it's important for T that T got that completion. He got it low.
What wind we have, and it's at times a little bit brisk, is at the back of the Tennessee Vols on this drive. Here's the give to Jamal Lewis, trying to get outside, spinning, and finally got a couple of yards, but unable to break that final tackle out there.
Good effort by Lewis. Tennessee came out again with a 2 tight end flexed out set, and that's been primarily a run set so far today for Tennessee. And Lewis actually did a pretty nice job, as you'll see here, just getting a couple yards on his own. Nothing at the point of attack. He strings out, uses his stiff arm, and actually just uses his ability on his own just to get a few yards, 3 yards on his own.
Berry and Kennedy were the primary tacklers out of the secondary for Arkansas. Travis Henry has come in, replacing Jamal Lewis at tailback. And the give is to Travis Henry, and he drives, piles forward for a couple of yards before being stopped. He had a great game against Notre Dame in his last outing, Andy.
Well, again, as we said in the opening, Tennessee, and we've said it all year long, Tennessee is very fortunate to have Lewis and Henry, 2 guys that are really interchangeable, the same style runners, both have great size and speed and strength. But as we said in the opening, too, it's important for one of those guys, or if not both, to come out today and have a big ball game.
Well, Jamal Lewis came right back in at tailback. Henry goes out. Tennessee with 4 receivers, 1 at the top of the screen, 3 at the bottom, 1 in motion. Cedric Wilson. They roll, they throw. It's complete. And it is Cedric Wilson out of bounds right at the 25-yard line of Arkansas. Good for another first.
T. Martin's bounced back pretty quickly after the big interception for the touchdown. He's bounced back this series and had a couple of big third down completions to pick up first downs for the Vols. So, as I said earlier, it's important for the offense and the quarterback in particular, the guy who actually made the bad play earlier, to bounce back and be a leader. And T. Martin's shown that on this series. He's bouncing back. He's let the bad play go. And now it was time to get back on the field and make some good things happen, and he's doing it this series.
Arkansas was offside. The play garnered a little more yardage than the penalty, so they declined the penalty. It was first down and 10 to go with 8:20 to go in the quarter. The first, Arkansas up 7-0. Tennessee with the football and moving at the 25-yard line of the Razorbacks. T. Martin definitely in a run situation this time with only 1 receiver set, and they give it off to Jamal Lewis. He's trying to get outside. He just can't do it. Shanoy Kennedy drops him for no gain.
So far today, look, Jamal is trying to bounce a lot of stuff outside. At the point of attack, there's not been a lot of creases so far. Arkansas, when Tennessee gets in the two tight end set, you see Arkansas closing everything down pretty well. Jamal tries to bounce it outside, and Arkansas shows good team speed to get outside and cut down the outside lanes. Kennedy gets up pretty quickly.
They give him a 1-yard loss, so it becomes a 2nd and 11. And puts Tennessee in a bit of a hole right here as far as play calling and play selection is concerned. When you have 11 yards to go on 2nd down. Here's Keith Owen. Had the man there, just threw it too high. Eric Parker had a step on the defender slanting toward the end zone. David Barrett and Parker not quite tall enough to bring that one down.
Tennessee did catch Arkansas that time in man-to-man. Tennessee was in two tight ends actually with one running back and two receivers. Parker outside in one-on-one coverage. It was another, almost like another timing route. And that time was just a little off target, a little off time.
All right, Tennessee now looks at a 3rd and 11. And the Arkansas crowd roars for their defense. Volunteers with 4 receivers set, 3 on the left side. He's going to be rushed. Fires. It's going to be incomplete. Intended for Cedric Wilson. So, of course, I guess at this point, a field goal attempt. DeAndre Berry was the man covering Cedric Wilson for the Razorbacks.
I don't think Wilson was T. Martin's primary receiver that time. He came off the front side and went back to Wilson late. And that's when the pressure actually got the team. He had to throw off his back foot and really couldn't get much on. It was almost a nice catch by Wilson coming back for the ball.
Alex Walls will attempt the field goal. The ball will be spotted on the 33-yard line, making it a 43-yard attempt. It is low Sailor, but it got through there. It was a line drive. Didn't even turn over.
Ball shot out of there like a knuckleball out of a cannon.
It's a 7-3 ball game as the Vols get on the scoreboard. Not exactly what they were looking for in that drive, but they got 3 out of it. So with 7:17 to go in the first quarter, it's Arkansas 7, the Tennessee Volunteers 3 from Fayetteville.
When partying with your buds, be sure to choose a designated driver. It's the perfect pick-me-up. A message from your friends at Budweiser and O'Doul's. Great party.
It's like we were always there for you. We were there when you became an independent woman and when you found a place you could call your own. We were there when you finally told your mother, "You're getting married!" And now that you have more dependence than independence and you need life insurance, there's no one better to ask than the State Farm agent you've always trusted to care for your car, your home, and you. State Farm is there for you because State Farm is there for life.
Arkansas leading 7-3. Tennessee's drive, 12 plays, 54 yards, took a little over 5.5 minutes off the clock. Culmination was a 43-yard field goal by Walls. And now Leverton will be kicking off, and Cedric Cobb is deep for Arkansas. Here's Leverton, who's had a little bit of a groin problem that hasn't affected him, obviously, today. A couple of them into the end zone, and this one certainly not returnable. And Arkansas will bring it out to the 20, put it in play first and 10. There's the drive. It took 12 plays to do it, 54 yards. They had the help of a 15-yard penalty in there for a face mask. 5:43 off the clock, and then Walls booted a line drive Sailor of 43 yards for the 3 points. So Tennessee pulls to within 4 of Arkansas. Hogs scoring defensively. Offensively, Tennessee has shut them down pretty well. Chris Chikuma is in at tailback. They fake to the tailback, and Sterner rolls, throws, complete, gain of about 2 yards. Joe Dean Davenport, his tight end, who Andy probably was more like a safety valve there. I think he was looking actually downfield a little further.
Well, it was a bootleg, and he slammed down the end, and Davenport came out. Actually, a pretty good catch that time. Tennessee had really good coverage and had Sterner contained. Really, no place for him to go. It was actually a good play on those guys' part, getting a couple of yards.
Cedric Cobbs goes in at tailback now, averaging almost 6 yards per carry on this season. Hasn't carried the ball as many times as Chikuma, but he's certainly the future. Double receivers at the top of your screen. They hand it off to Cobbs, and he slides by one man, and he's got an open field, and the last man, Deion Grant, with a shot at him, knocks him out of bounds. Into Tennessee territory. Nice play by Cedric Cobbs. Obviously got some good blocking at the point of attack.
Nice burst here by Cobbs. You see, Tennessee actually looked like they had it strung out pretty well. You see a missed tackle there. Then Cobbs saw the crease and actually threw on a nice little burst of speed to get upfield, and Grant saved the touchdown.
It's a 24-yard run, and it's not quite to midfield. They put it out of bounds here at the 46-yard line, but it is a first down and 10 yards to go. Deion Grant did a great job of saving a touchdown that time for Tennessee. Slot on the right side, receivers on each side. Sterner throwing. It's a timing pattern, and it's going to be timed well by Tennessee. Almost intercepted. Anthony Lucas was the intended receiver, and Andre Lott played it absolutely perfectly and almost came up with the ball.
Well, that's about as well as you can play a fade route. Lott was in great position and timed it just right. But that's Arkansas, one of their plans. Lucas has had a lot of success against Tennessee and those same type routes. Sterner just throws it up, gives his receiver, gives Lucas a chance to jump up and make a play. And this time Lott was the guy that made the play.
Arkansas at their own 46-yard line, looking at a second down now and 10. A little over 6.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter of play here in Fayetteville. Two receivers set to the top of the screen. Sterner is back under a little bit of pressure, had the man open and just overthrew him. It was Michael Williams, and he, like T on a couple of his passes, a little bit high on this one.
It was a little high. That's a long throw from the far hash and play action away, and then turning back to try to hit the out right on the side, and that is a long throw.
There's Coach Philip Fulmer pacing the sidelines. He knows his Volunteers have to win today in order to stay in the hunt for a chance to repeat as national champions, and probably need to win kind of respectably, but certainly a victory is what they need. Arkansas, of course, would like to do nothing better than knock them out of that chance. Here's Sterner with time, throwing complete right in front of the Tennessee defender at the 45-yard line. Boo Williams was the receiver.
Pretty good coverage that time by Lott. It's going to be about a yard short of the first down, but good coverage. Just a great throw by Sterner to fit it in there. And like I said, pretty good coverage by Lott.
Arkansas's got a decision to make, Andy. It's fourth down. They need, no more than a yard, if that much. They're in Tennessee territory at the 45-yard line, and they're going to send out their kicker, Chris Aiken.
I'm sure Tennessee is going to line up and be in a punt safe formation looking for the fake. They got caught last week on a fake field goal by Notre Dame, so I'm sure they talked about that a lot this week.
He did kick it indeed, and Parker's going to let it bounce, and had no choice, but it bounced inside the 10-yard line. It was Deion Grant actually back instead of Parker on this particular punt return, and so Tennessee will put it in play deep in their own territory at the 8-yard line.
Actually, the punt was so short. It was a good decision by Grant not to try to field it. He'd been on a dead run trying to catch it, but Arkansas caught a break, took a couple good hops, and then now it's inside the 10-yard line, but not a bad decision by Grant. It just turns out to be an unfortunate roll for Tennessee.
With the roll and the whole works there, turned out to be a decent punt at 37 yards, and from a field position standpoint, an excellent punt. All right, Travis Henry is in at tailback now for the Volunteers. They fake it to him, and T. Martin,
Wide
the
open.
wind behind his back, is going to air it out there, and he had a receiver a mile open, and he overthrew it.
Stallworth ran. I watched Stallworth the whole way. He ran an out and up, and the corner up top for Arkansas really, really bit. And if Teeth had gotten rid of that just maybe a hair earlier, he wouldn't have to put as much on it. But Stallworth ran a nice route and actually came open. And T just a little bit overthrown, trying to make the perfect pass again. But I think that's a great play call in this situation. Down deep, Randy Sanders taking a shot downfield, and it was really a good play call.
All right, Travis Henry remains in at tailback. They put the tight end in motion, and they give it off to the tailback, Travis Henry, and he drives forward and drives the pile for a couple of extra yards. Quentin Caver made the stop for Arkansas. T. Martin started out the last couple of games, Andy, it seems to be a little bit high with the passes, a little bit strong, shall we say, and then each time settled down and had great games.
It's kind of the trouble they say that Brett Favre has early in the game. They have to try to calm him down. He comes out flying the ball everywhere high, and you know, certainly I think T. Martin is a cool customer when it comes to these type games, but he does seem to get better as the game goes along.
There's the November schedule for Tennessee, 54-2 for the month of November since '85.
Good decision.
Going to be close to the first down marker. Quentin Caver again made the stop. It is apparently enough without even measuring. They're moving the chains downfield, so it was a good decision by T that time.
Well, it was, especially the top runner he is. He knows he's effective running the ball. He knows he can make plays. That time, the pretty good coverage by Arkansas to open the lane, open up for T, and he saw it and took advantage of it. And he's been very successful doing that over his career.
All right, it's a first down and 10 to go for the Volunteers. Give off to Henry. Henry bounces and tries to stretch it for another yard or two, and does. See what his second effort is so good, and it's because from the waist down, he's one of the biggest guys you will ever meet. Thighs the size of an offensive lineman. Powerful runner, and it's in the legs. All right, T. Martin and the Vols look at a second down and 6 situation. They put Johnson in motion, the tight end. They give it off to Henry, coming right up the gut. And he gets a couple of yards before he is knocked down by Jeremy Flowers and D.J. Cooper out of the secondary, and Cooper left tackle position.
I think without a doubt so far Tennessee's game plan coming in, they're going to run the ball between the tackles and try to make some things happen. Arkansas had a little bit of trouble stopping the run, and that's Tennessee's trying to take advantage of it. So far today, Arkansas has done a pretty decent job. But Tennessee is starting to pound out a few more yards on every play, it seems like, especially between the tackles.
Tennessee is now 3 of 4 in third downs, and they've also improved dramatically in the last couple of games in the orange zone, having only missed a couple of opportunities to score once they got into the zone inside the 20 in the last couple of ball games. But right now they're a long ways from the 20. They're at their own 25-yard line. And the official steps in and stops the clock. I'm not sure if Tennessee had enough men on the field or not.
A delay of game.
Well, that's a costly little penalty right there.
Turns to 3rd and 2, maybe 3, in the 3rd and 8. And that's a big difference when you're calling plays. What they're going to run in 3rd and 3 than 3rd and 8.
A huge difference, especially when you're in your own territory.
Still a little confusion on Tennessee's part. Lewis coming in late and Henry coming out.
Quite a bit of confusion, as a matter of fact. Here is T. Martin with a lot of time throwing, and it's complete to Bobby Graham, and Graham is up in the neighborhood of the first down, but maybe a little bit short. Kenoy Kennedy from free safety made the stop for the Hogs.
T. Martin this time had pretty good protection up front. T. Martin scanning the field, looking for somebody downfield. Graham comes open just a little bit short of the first down. He turns and tries to get an extra yardage, but just a little short of the first.
So it becomes a 4th down and 1, and Leverton will be in to punt, and Morari will be back to receive.
You know, some people may ask, well, why didn't Graham get enough for the first that time? And maybe he should have, but there's also, in certain times, there's certain routes where you really can't.
Fumble! Tennessee, I believe, has recovered it. Yes, they have.
Big play for Tennessee on the special teams. Getting back to what I was saying, I didn't mean to miss the big play there, but sometimes a route you can't afford to go too deep because you have guys behind you, but maybe Graham should have gotten the first down yardage that time. But a huge, huge play now for Tennessee with the special team.
Constantine Richmond made the recovery.
We talked earlier on the opening kickoff about the sun, how it was a factor with Cobb trying to return the kicks.
In that area.
And perhaps with the punt that time, perhaps the sun was a factor.
All right, here comes Tennessee now after the break. Arkansas got a great break early on a deflected pass off Jamal Lewis' hands, turned it into a touchdown. Let's see if Tennessee can return the favor here after recovering a fumbled punt. T. Martin fires in the flat. It's complete to Bobby Graham, and he is out of bounds after a first down. Bobby Graham stretches the field pretty good that time. Not a big guy, Andy, but we saw him fighting for that first down earlier. He's a pretty strong youngster.
He'll stick his head in there and fight, and that's what you need in a receiver, a guy that has sure hands and a guy that's going to fight for yardage after the catch.
So it becomes first down at the 17-yard line of Arkansas for Tennessee. Volunteers moving with the ball after recovering the fumbled punt. Jamal Lewis is at tailback. 3 receivers here at the bottom of your screen, 1 at the top. They fake it to Jamal. They throw it out in the flat to Stallworth. He spins off of 1, gets a little yardage down inside the 15. Dante Stallworth to about the 14-yard line. All right, we're going to take a little break here at Fayetteville, Arkansas, with 1:17 remaining in the first quarter of play. Tennessee 3, Arkansas 7.
On CSS, Wednesday night is Mississippi night with the University of Southern Mississippi head coaching show, the Jeff Bower Show. Formerly of Tennessee, Ole Miss football with David Cutcliffe. The Bulldogs head coach, the Jackie Sherrill Show, and Mississippi State football. Can you believe the season these guys are having? Think they can keep it up? Watch CSS and find out. CSS, your sports authority in the Southeast.
Oh, that's good. We need some more toilet paper.
All new adventures.
Bad monkey.
All new songs.
Getting gay with kids is here.
All new drama.
Whoa, dude.
Same old attitude.
You're going to be held back a grade if you don't... Did you just flip me off?
South Park, Wednesdays at 10 p.m., 9 Central, only on Comedy Central.
This summer, we've got a new season of Oz. But until then, every Wednesday night at 10, get inside the walls of M City and relive the first 2 seasons of this powerful and compelling series, Oz. Prepare yourself for the season premiere and find out who your friends really are. Oz, every Wednesday night at 10.
Back to the action here in Fayetteville, Arkansas, on the campus of the University of Arkansas. T. Martin goes into the shotgun, 2nd down and 8. He fires. It's going to be pass interference, pretty obvious. Crowd will boo, but they know in their hearts that it definitely was, because the 2 flags went down immediately. David Barrett was the defender. Cedric Wilson was the man who was violated on that particular play.
Well, Arkansas came out with a full blitz that time. The corners in man-to-man coverage. Actually, as you said, Bob, pretty obvious. Had him horse collar before the ball got there.
Pass interference on the defense. The spot foul. Automatic first down.
The referee today is Harold Mitchell, the man who made that call. Told you about the pass interference, and it becomes a first down now for Tennessee, and 3 yards to go for a touchdown. 1st and goal at the 3. Exactly 1 minute remaining in the first quarter of play on a day that's more like early September rather than November. Expected to hit 80 degrees before we end this ball game. Pitch back to Jamal Lewis. Stumble, tripped, and goes down after maybe losing a yard. Jeremy Flowers was the man who tripped him, and I'm not sure if it was as much Jeremy as it was Jamal just falling over his own feet that time.
Yeah, Lewis tried to make his initial cut and got tripped up. Actually had a little seam. Might have gotten him in the end zone that play. He hadn't tripped up before he was at the line of scrimmage.
He lost 2 yards, so it becomes 2nd down and 5. Will Johnson goes in motion, tight end. They fake it. They throw it in the flat. It is incomplete and almost intercepted. Again deflected. That play fooled no one from Arkansas.
Well, Tennessee's had a lot of success on that play in the last several weeks. Arkansas obviously they've watched the film. They come out, look for the bootleg. You see Martin with the fake, rolling out Johnson in the flat. And really, like you said, nobody's really fooled.
All right, 3rd down and 5. They've got themselves in a passing situation right here. I would be very much surprised if it's anything but. And Arkansas, of course, will pin the ears and count out runs. They go with a fade pattern in the corner, and
another flag.
Another interference call. Tennessee receiver Cedric Wilson went flat of his back. David Barrett again was the man who was going to be called for this violation.
Well, this one probably not quite as obvious as the first one, but there was a lot of contact once the ball's in the air. If the corner's not making a play on the ball, he really can't make contact.
On the defense in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 2, 1st down.
Really, once the ball's in the air, you can't make contact unless it's incidental and going for the ball. And that time Barrett, before the ball got there, wasn't going for the ball, and there was contact.
All kinds of it. Both hands, as a matter of fact.
And probably didn't actually need to do it. He was in pretty good position if he'd have turned and made the play on the ball.
Actually, the big part of the play, too, Andy, is it resets the downs for Tennessee. It becomes now a 1st down and 2, or 1st and goal at the 2-yard line. There's Jamal being stood straight up by Quentin Caber and Carlos Hall. He hit the line, had an idea of jumping, and when he did, he was met head-on.
I think Jamal maybe mistimed his jump just a little bit this time. You see a little stutter step, I think, right before he jumps. You see there. Actually, still picked up a yard. Got inside the 1, or right at the 1-yard line. But a pretty good defensive play by Arkansas to stuff it.
That's the end of the quarter. 1 quarter of play has gone by here in Fayetteville in the Southeastern Conference Duel. And your score, Arkansas 7, the Vols knocking on the door 3. We'll be back with the 2nd quarter and obviously a lot more action from Arkansas after this.
The run for the title is on.
See you later. Touchdown.
It's college football season, and we've got your Big 12 excitement right here.
Absolutely sensational. Oh, my goodness. Right across the side. He's got it. Touchdown.
College football is definitely back.
Cinemax is looking great.
Oh, absolutely.
And now there's more of it with Multimax from Cinemax.
Sounds great.
4 different movie channels. It all starts with Cinemax.
Got a different movie every night at 8.
But if you want an alternative, there's More Max. Want to see stuff blowing up? There's Action Max. And if you want suspense,
I love thriller movies.
there's Thriller Max. 4 different channels for the movie fans. It's Multimax from Cinemax.
Ian Wright and Justine Shapiro have the coolest jobs on the planet.
Oh, yeah. Hey, right to travel.
Want to go along? Enter the Lonely Planet Take a Fan to Work sweepstakes, and you could. Log on to TravelChannel.com, and Ian or Justine could be taking you on their next adventure.
Definitely have to check this out.
Plus, cast your vote for your favorite Lonely Planet episode, and starting August 23rd, we'll air your top picks. Break away with the Lonely Planet Take a Fan to Work sweepstakes, only at the Travel Channel and TravelChannel.com.
Guys, an issue for Tennessee today, of course, we talked about earlier, will be the sun in the eyes of the wide receivers and the tailbacks. What they've been using is a thing called eye black. These are adhesive. When I played, we kind of smeared them on. This helps deflect the sun down to the cheek and out of the eyes. Back upstairs with you, Bob and Andy.
All right, full house backfield as we begin the second quarter of play. Tennessee at the 1-yard line. And they're apparently still there. Will Bartholomew cannot get into the end zone. Quentin Caver again. Left side linebacker made the stop. Here's an incredible stat. Tennessee's trailing by a score of 7-3, yet in possession. They had the ball 12 minutes to Arkansas's about 2:45, Andy.
That's an unusual score for that time. The bigger difference there is in time of possession, as you said. That's unusual. Tennessee this time comes out and has 3 tight end set, obviously on the 1-yard line. They hadn't gotten it in yet, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Jamal try to get over the top.
All right, it's 3rd down and 1 for the Volunteers. They're going to try to sweep it out here with Jamal, and he jumps in and goes in standing up. And Neil Johnson had to be one of the guys who was in motion who threw a block, but there were others as well.
Nice job that time. I said it wouldn't be surprised to see him go over the top. Arkansas shut down the first 2 plays inside the 2-yard line, going up the middle. This time Randy Sanders tried to stretch the field a little bit and come back to the sweep that Jamal actually slipped on earlier that looked like he had a chance. I'm sure Randy saw that, wanted to get back to it as soon as possible, and he did, and it worked out well for Tennessee. Nice job by Lewis, stringing it out and getting it in the end zone.
Kevin Gregory will snap, Benson Scott will hold, and Alex Walls will kick, and kick successfully. Tennessee goes on top 10-7. At that particular end zone where the Vols was stored, that's where they will enclose it next year and add another 22,000 seats. As we take a look again at the score.
See Johnson out front leading with a nice block. Bartholomew, great blocker out in front, cutting down the defenders left and right. And Lewis just doing the rest of them. String it out as long as he can. Then when he sees the goal line, cutting it in, jumping one guy and getting it into the end zone. Nice execution on that particular play.
So the Vols take the lead by a score of 10-7. 14 minutes and 11 seconds remaining here in the first half of play as 50,000 in the sunshine watch at Razorback Stadium. Tennessee on top 10-7. Will return after these words.
Hi, I'm Kenny Mayne along with Dan Patrick, who will now speak.
Don't miss SportsCenter on ESPN and Comcast Cable.
If I had one of those TV rating boxes on my television, the #1 show in the country would be 11 p.m. SportsCenter. Okay, maybe it won't hit #1, but it'll definitely give Dom and Greg a run for their money.
So I'm doing a little channel surfing, and I land on Animal Planet.
You don't plan on watching this channel. It just happens to you.
It's got action, adventure, drama, harmony with an animal twist. Now that's big. It's what everyone's going to be talking about tomorrow around the watering hole. They've got great shows like The Crocodile Hunter. You watch it once and it pulls you in. On Animal Planet, anything can happen.
I understand nail pattern baldness. I just can't find the pattern.
How can I tell my daughter I've been there when obviously I haven't? Health is on the way. From the people who bring you Discovery comes a new TV channel and revolutionary website devoted to your health. Discovery Health Channel and discoveryhealth.com.
Again in the first quarter, Arkansas only had the ball for 2 minutes and 45 seconds. They had only 1 first down, yet they led. Tennessee finally, after recovering a fumbled punt, marching at 30 yards for the score, has taken the lead along with a field goal. It's 10-7 Volunteers. Here's Cobbs settling under at the 8-yard line, coming to the sidelines, cutting back against the grain and fighting for a good return. Mickey Allen finally made the stop. reserve safety out close to the 30-yard line. They'll pull it back, though, and say he was more like the 28. So at that point, it becomes first down and 10 to go for Sterner and his mates. There is Cedric Cobbs. There's the drive, 7 plays, 30 yards, 2:32 on the time. Cedric Cobbs goes in at tailback now. He and Chikuma have been alternating, but quite frankly, I think they have a little more confidence right now in the ability of Cobbs as far as a breakaway threat is concerned. He was recruited heavily by the Volunteers, among others. Here's the give to Cobbs, and there you see he gets outside and is still battling, and finally is driven out of bounds by Dion Grant, but again, another nice gain for this youngster.
Well, Bob, you called it just a second ago. They think Cobbs has the breakaway speed and the breakaway capabilities. This time, not much inside. He almost slips and falls, regains his balance, and picks up a big first down and a big chunk of yardage.
Actually, about the best play the Hogs have had today. 13:38 remaining in the first half of play. Sterner and company now with the first down and 10 to go at their own 43-yard line. 2 receivers bottom of the screen. They give it off to Cobbs again, and he's fighting yardage. He's got another first down as he drives it deep into Tennessee territory across the 45 to the 44-yard line. Raynoch Thompson had to make the stop. A 13-yard carry by Cedric Cobbs.
Cobbs looked really smooth in the last 2 plays. This play, he got the handoff, and right at the point of attack, Tennessee had somebody there. He just did a quick little sidestep and hit the seam. It just looked very, very smooth. He looks like he's gained a lot of confidence. He's on top of it right now.
They break out of the huddle real quickly and try to catch Tennessee off guard. Ball's did a pretty good job of recovering. Cobbs got 3 carries for 52 yards. I'll say that is pretty good. John Henderson made the stop. 42-yard line. They need about 7 yards to go for a first, and it becomes a second down situation for the Hogs. Played a little trickery at that time by breaking out of the huddle on the dead run and going as soon as the center had his hands on the ball. Sterner may be checking off this time at the line. He gives it off to Cobbs, and Cobbs is going to be whacked up after a gain of a yard or so. Number 42 there in your screen is Westmoreland. The flag down. John Ellis also was in on that one. Somebody apparently blew an elbow or something of that nature.
Dead ball, personal foul on the defense. Dead ball, personal foul on the offense.
Well, they both were caught the old offsetting penalty.
Somebody did something, somebody reacted to it, and they both got called for it.
Now your first quarter stats, Tennessee pretty big edge. 8-1 in first downs, 34-24 in rushing, 39-18 in passing, and turnovers. UT turned it over 1 time. Of course, that resulted in an Arkansas touchdown. And penalties, Tennessee 1 for 5 yards, Arkansas 4 for 34. That second quarter, where we're in right now, earlier, a fumbled punt by Arkansas resulted in a 30-yard Tennessee drive, and they had the help of a couple of pass interference penalties, but they were both very obvious in their drive for the touchdown. 3 receiver set this time for Sterner, who goes into the shotgun on a 3rd and 6. He gets some pressure from the backside. He fires. It's complete. Tennessee lost the man, Lucas. And Anthony Lucas, like he did in Knoxville last year, made him pay. Mickey Allen had to come up and make the stop. Tennessee defensive back, Andy, got turned around totally, completely.
Goodrich got, as you said, he got turned around. I don't know if he lost Lucas or thought he saw the ball thrown earlier, but he was way out of position when Lucas made the catch. And Goodrich is usually the guy that's usually right in position. You'll see on the replay. He just got turned around. Lucas ran a nice route, turned him, and got his head turned around. And Lucas came back to make the catch.
I think he apparently lost the ball or thought it was being thrown to someone else. 33 yards on the play. First down and 7 at the 7. Here's the give to Cedric Dobbs. He's looking for room. He's still fighting. He's going to get a yard or two out of it. What should have been actually maybe a half-yard loss. He turns it into a slight gain. Sean Ellis from defensive end made the stop for Tennessee.
I think so far today, I haven't seen a lot of Arkansas this year, but Dobbs, the guy so far, reminds me a lot of Sean Alexander. Kind of nifty and shifty, but he actually may have even a little more power than Alexander.
He's 6'2", weighs 216 pounds, a true freshman. It's second down and 6 to go for Arkansas at the Tennessee 6-yard line. There's Sterner. He's going to throw it into the end zone. Got a man wide open. Wide open for the touchdown is tight end Joe Dean Davenport.
See Raynoch Thompson, the Tennessee linebacker, complaining to the back judge that the Davenport pushed off, but he did come wide open after it. With the tight ends, though, and the linebackers, when they are in coverage, there's going to be a lot of contact with those guys anyway, and a lot of times the officials will let that go.
Dodson will attempt the extra point to put Arkansas ahead by 4. It's up there, and it is good, and Arkansas takes the lead 14-10 over Tennessee with 10:46 remaining in this first half of play.
Take a look at the replay here, see if we can see what Raynoch Thompson was complaining about after the play. It's going to be tough to see from that angle, but Davenport did come awful wide open for Tennessee having two guys pretty much in pretty good position. Probably some contact made, but as I said, sometimes they call it, sometimes they don't, especially with tight ends and linebackers doing battle.
Well, Tennessee has got an awful lot riding on this one, and right now they're not playing that well. It's 14-10 in favor of the Arkansas Razorbacks over the Volunteers. We'll be back after this.
Somewhere closer than you might think, there's a place that's still so good and clean and fresh. A place where the memories are created every day. Call 1-800-ALABAMA and find out why Alabama is what you love about the South.
You know, Archie, thousands of people throughout the South choose Osmose pressure-treated pine from Great Southern Wood.
That's right, Jimmy. That yellow tag means it has a lifetime guarantee. Then it comes to you clean and straight.
Exactly. Then why haven't we sold a single T-shirt? I mean, these dadgum things are good looking.
It's a disease, Jimmy. So remember, there is a difference. If it doesn't say Osmose on the yellow tag, believe me, you don't want it.
It's time, classic time. This week in Black College Life, visit cities and classics all throughout the season. Get ready for non-stop excitement with the Ramsey Tour from game day broadcasts on Sundays at 3 p.m. The weekly magazine show is tailgaters and pre-game spectaculars on Friday at 6 p.m. The best games, the best bands, and definitely the best fans. This is Chuck Bosch. Check us out, because we'll be checking you out in an end zone somewhere near.
Tennessee is set to receive now. Sterner, by the way, is 5 of 8 for 57 yards, and with the last pass, he became the career passing leader here at Arkansas. Leonard Scott to receive the Dodson kick. Vols down 14-10. Trying to get in a position to defend their national championship, but not playing well enough to do it right now. Back of the end zone and out of there, so no chance for a return. Andy, do you detect any letdown in any way by Tennessee here, or is it just things are not falling right for them right now?
Well, I think you have to give a lot of credit to Arkansas so far. They came out early in this game, and they've made some big plays, made the big play on defense, put together a good drive that time to get the points on the board. So, you know, I don't know if it's necessarily Tennessee not playing well or Arkansas is coming out ready to play and being a pretty good football team. I think Tennessee came into this game knowing it's going to be a tough battle, and anytime you play on the road in the SEC, it's not an easy thing to do to go on the road and win.
If I had to have one surprise so far in the ball game at this stage, it would be that Tennessee has not run the ball well at all.
Arkansas has done a pretty good job of shutting down Tennessee's run. And on the other side, Arkansas with Cobbs having a big day so far, they've actually run the ball pretty well against Tennessee's defense.
We have an official timeout. Behind those players you see there on the ground is an injured player that we cannot get his number at the moment, but he's being attended to, and so we'll wait and see. That's the reason for the time here, though. When we get back, Tennessee will have it in play. First down at the 20-yard line. Marvin Gaston is the player. He is a second-string fullback.
See Gaston here in the middle of the screen, 33. See if we can see what happens here. See a blind side coming. Boom, there it is. Probably maybe knocked a few cobwebs loose in his head. That was a pretty good block there.
First down and 10 to go for Tennessee now. Trailing 14-10. They try the run again, and again they stuff it. Arkansas is not going to give Jamal Lewis anything. Travis Henry is the ball carrier, and they're not giving Travis anything either. They're doing a great job in, I guess, saying basically, if you're going to beat us, T. Martin, you'll have to do it. Very, very few people have had any success of completely shutting down Tennessee's run. But so far, Arkansas has come very close to doing that. Here's T back to throw. Throws long. It's going to be a jump ball. Nobody wins. Dante Stallworth was the intended receiver. The defender was Barrett, who's been nailed with a couple of pass interference calls in this ball game, but he hasn't let that bother him. He was going for that football right there. Tennessee making a few substitutions with a 3rd and 9 situation in, bringing a little bit different package to the table here. So it's a big, big down for the Vols, and Arkansas defensively would like to hold them and get the ball in good field position. This is what they'll do if Tennessee can't make the first down. Here's T. Martin rolling, firing complete, and it should be enough for a first down to Eric Parker.
Well, I tell you, a nice job by T. Martin that time, buying some time, a little pressure up the gut. He rolls out, keeps his eyes downfield while actually gaining yardage, running towards the line of scrimmage. Actually got pretty close to the line of scrimmage, but good awareness on his part to let go of it before the line of scrimmage. Just a nice throw, nice completion. Nice job by Parker coming back to his quarterback in trouble and getting the first down.
First down and 10, 37-yard line of the Volunteers. They're trying to get a drive to go here and answer the last Arkansas touchdown. They give it off to Jamal. Same result, nothing.
Tennessee tried a new formation again, came out with a full house backfield. I think Ontario Smith may be in the game, and still nothing much. Tennessee's trying everything to try to establish a running game so far. A lot of different formations, but nothing much working. Early in the game, Tennessee spread Arkansas out and ran a couple of draws with Lewis and T. Martin, which had some success running the ball, but that's been about it.
It becomes second down and 10 as Jamal Lewis was stopped right at the line of scrimmage. So it remains the 37-yard line of Tennessee as the line. Full house backfield this time. They're determined to run it. But now they fake it and throw it downfield. Got a receiver open and he dropped it. Leonard Scott went through his hands. David Barrett was there to defend, but I don't think Barrett actually touched it. I think Leonard just dropped it.
Pretty good throw this time by T. Tennessee came out with a full house backfield again. Obviously, Arkansas concentrating on shutting down the run, a little play action, trying to get somebody deep. You see Scott right there, the ball hit his hands, should have been caught. Pretty good job by Barrett at the last moment, jumping in front of Scott to distract him. But that ball could very well have been caught.
Yeah, it was a last-second move by Barrett that was pretty effective. Tennessee this time goes with no backs, 5 receivers. On a 3rd down and 10, they fire it out here to Wilson. He's got the first down. He's got a lot more. He's going to cut back inside and get tripped up at the 20-yard line by Kenoy Kennedy. Cedric Wilson, great, what looked to be just a short yardage situation, and that often happens, Andy, when everything is set just right. It turned into a big-time play.
Well, another Tennessee caught Arkansas in a man-to-man situation. just a great play call. I mean, T. Martin buys a little time, holds it for as long as he can, sets a screen up, and when Wilson catches it, there's nobody there except for 2 linemen leading him down the field. And actually, Kennedy did a nice job to save the touchdown because Wilson almost had his clear shot down the sideline.
Cozy Coleman was one of those. That's 43-yard play. Tennessee brings a man in motion to the left, and T. Martin rolls in that direction, and he's going to keep it and turn back against the grain. And he's got to get 6 points. Touchdown, T. Martin. Tennessee takes the lead.
I'll tell you what, T. Martin showed a burst of speed right there, and I said it when he got to about the 10, he was going to score because when he cut back across the grain, all of Arkansas' defense is flowed with the play. T. Martin cut back against the grain, and there was nobody there, and he turned on a burst of speed that he put it in a different gear that we hadn't seen much out of T. Martin. We know he's a great athlete and can run, but he really turned it on that time.
Comes at 8:05 remaining in the first half of play. So Benson Scott will set it down, and Alex Walls will attempt the extra point and try to put the balls back up. It is up, and it is good. And Tennessee goes back up by 3, 17-14. There's T. Martin talking with the coaches. Very good performance by T. Timeout. Tennessee leads Arkansas 17-14 in Fayetteville.
Oh, brother, now I've seen it all.
What's that?
They gave the ferret a teleprompter.
Teleprompter. Well, I guess he can't memorize his lines, huh?
Memorize his lines. The guy's a door jam. I don't know why they give him so much slack.
Well, that's because he's got a good look.
A good look?
Yeah, look at him. He looks like a little European filmmaker.
I had a good look.
Louis, no lizard has a good look.
What are you talking about?
We're not a good-looking species.
We're not. You have no pride, Frank.
I simply know my limitations.
I am classically chiseled.
Nothing compares to knowing your kids are safe, except maybe the thrill of celebrating a family vacation in a new Ford Windstar. Now during the Ford authorized clearance, you can get 0.9% financing or $1,000 cash back on a '99 Windstar, the only minivan with a quadruple 5-star safety rating. Make it a family decision during the Ford authorized clearance at your local Ford dealer.
Back to the action here in Fayetteville. 8:05 remaining in the first half. Tennessee and Arkansas swapping leads. Right now Tennessee's on top 17-14 in a very exciting football game. Cedric Cobbs will be back to receive, and there's the run by T. Martin, and again Andy alluded to the extra burst. The Rockets turned on, right?
I'll tell you, and I wouldn't be surprised later. Arkansas defense is being very aggressive. When he cut back across the grain, nobody was there. Don't be surprised if Tennessee comes back later with a reverse or something to try to take advantage of that aggressiveness.
Kick to the sidelines and fielded by the dangerous Cedric Cobbs. And he's finally dropped at the 30-yard line after running out of blockers at that particular point. Willie Miles made the stop for Tennessee. So Arkansas now will see if they can answer Tennessee's drive. There is the drive, 7 plays, covered 80 yards, 2:41 off the clock, 19-yard touchdown run by T. Martin.
I think there's a key play of that drive, and it was 3rd and 9 when T. Martin rolled out and found Parker for the first down just to keep the drive alive. But a very nice drive for Tennessee that time.
And the big screen pass play to Cedric Wilson.
Another big 3rd down play.
Here's the handoff to the freshman tailback. Gets a little bit of room before Westmoreland closes down on him. Cedric Cobbs, what a future he's got here at Arkansas. Chris Chikuma has come in at tailback, replacing Cobbs. They alternate. Actually, Chikuma is the starter, the senior, but Cobbs is obviously the star of the future. 17-14. Tennessee, 2nd down, 8 yards to go for a first at their own 32-yard line. Sterner got 2 receivers set, and everything kind of blows up on the field there, and the flag comes down. May have been movement, or it may have been delayed. Here's
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
See, I think that was on the main guy was Sterner that time, and that can happen. I know as a quarterback it happened to me several times. You call a play in a huddle and you're thinking about so much. You try to change the snap count out sometimes. You'll get to the line of scrimmage and see the defense adjust. And a lot of times in the back of your mind, that snap count becomes kind of the last thing you're thinking about, and that can happen. There's been a lot of times where I have to turn to the running back and ask him what's it on, you know.
They put the tight end in motion to the right. Sterner, long count. Not much pressure. He fires. It's complete to Anthony Lucas. Again, it's a jump ball, and Lucas wins, and Raynoch Thompson got burned on that one again.
I'll tell you, Tennessee had two guys out there. That time, Goodrich and Thompson, Raynoch Thompson, they were in position to make the play. Goodrich fell down, and Thompson just couldn't get back, and Sterner just, as you said, threw it up for grabs, and Lucas came up with it once again, but Tennessee had two guys in position, just didn't make the play. Nice play by Lucas.
First down and 10 to go for Arkansas, now at their own 42-yard line. With a man in motion to the top of the screen. Sterner again gets it off to his tailback, and it's Cobbs, and he doesn't get much this time. About a yard or so before Dominic Stevenson from the middle linebacker spot made the stop for the Volunteers. 17-14, Tennessee. Vols have moved to number 2 in the BCS rankings. Of course, a lot happening this weekend, and many things can happen to change, but what Tennessee must do above all else if they hope to stay in that neighborhood is to win. First and foremost, otherwise it's history. Sterner signals for his motion man to stop and set. He does. Out of the I backfield, he's going to throw. Tennessee gets a hand up there, and it's going to be another jump ball, and again it's Deion Grant coming over, this time doing what we said he had to do in pre-game, Andy, and that's help out the cornerbacks from his safety spot. Otherwise, it'd be a long day for those guys, but he did it there, played center field beautifully.
That's exactly, as you said in the opening, Bob, what he has to do. The ball hung up. Sterner threw it up for grabs, and Grant ran over and made the play, and he is shaken up.
So that would be a huge blow for Tennessee. Deion Grant with 6 interceptions on the year, a ton of tackles, and a lot of knockdowns from his roving safety spot out there. Take a look at the replay.
Pretty good protection that time. Tennessee brought some linebackers. See Grant coming over making the play. Hard to tell right there what happened.
Looks like he got his leg maybe tangled up with either his teammate or with the receiver.
He's walking off now. You see him bent over. Looks like he's in a lot of pain. So he is holding his leg.
So we're probably going to see Mickey Allen in there. Luckily, Golden also.
Luckily for Tennessee, these guys have had, at least the guys coming in now, Golden and Mickey Allen, have had opportunities to play. It's not like they're going on the field for the first time. But definitely you're losing something when you lose Grant.
All right, third down and 9. Tennessee's got extra DB in there right now. Anticipating pass from Sterner on 3rd and 9, and he will not disappoint them. He will throw it, and he'll complete it to Lucas. And he's going to fight for a first down, and it's going to be maybe a yard short or a half yard short. And that was a great effort by Tennessee to keep him from making the first down. Leading the way was Dwayne Goodrich from cornerback.
I think you'll see at the end here, if we can pick it up, this is very close to being a pick-type play, almost illegal. But as it turned out, it was legal, and Lucas comes up with another catch. You see Goodrich fighting, and Lucas fighting for the first down, and Tennessee doing everything they can to keep him from getting there. Good effort on both sides of the ball.
5 minutes and 27 seconds to go in the first half of play. And Arkansas is going to call timeout, apparently to discuss whether to go for it here. Andy, it'll be 4th down and 1. They are in Tennessee territory at the 49-yard line, so they've got a decision to make.
I'll tell you what, this is a tough decision. If you go for it and make it, that's a great call. But if you do go for it and happen to not to get it, Tennessee's getting the ball right at almost at midfield in great position, and you're already down by 3. You know, this is a tough decision the coach has to make. Almost every week these games come down to these type of decisions, and it's a tough one.
What it amounts to is about 50% of the time you're right, and the other 50 you're dead wrong.
Well, if you go for it and make it, it's a great call. If you go for it and miss it, you should have punted. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20.
17-14, Tennessee leading, 5:27 to go. A lot of time in the first half, but we're at a critical stage, apparently, in Arkansas's mind as far as what they do offensively here. Do they try to keep this drive alive, Or do they take a chance and turn it over to Tennessee? They're not going to take the chance, apparently, but never rule out a fake. Chris Aiken has gone out to punt. Houston Nutt decided during the timeout this would be perhaps the best choice. And back to receive will be Parker. He gets a high kick up there, and Parker gets away from it, lets it go, and it goes out of bounds around the 12-yard line in that neighborhood. So Tennessee's defense did hold, and they will take over here with the football deep in their own territory, but a pretty good stand by the Vols defense that time. There you see some stats. The Vols won their last 6 games and scored at least 30 points in the last 3 of 4 games. Of course, they rolled up 38 last week against Notre Dame. So they're not only on a roll right now as far as consecutive games are concerned, but of course there's that great November run that they've had since 1985. That punt, by the way, covered 37 yards. Tennessee, with T. Martin, gives it off in the middle to, looks like Jamal Lewis, and he is up to close to the 20-yard line. One of his better runs of the day.
Well, that time Tennessee came out and did get a crease between the tackles. There hadn't been a lot of room today for either Lewis or Henry. That time Lewis popped through and gets about 7 or 8 yards. Pretty good first down play between the tackles.
I know Philip Fulmer well enough, and you do too, Andy, to know what he'd like here would be about a 4-minute drive, primarily on the ground.
I would say he would take that every time if he could get it.
He may get a delay here, though, or maybe movement on the part of Tennessee. The Vols will be retreating, and
dead ball. Ball starts on the offense. A 5-yard penalty with 2 seconds out.
Well, that comes under the heading of silly mistake.
That takes away the good first down play. Arkansas, they're doing a little bit of movement up front before the ball snapped, but that's something you have to be prepared for and not let that affect, especially in the line of scrimmage, not let that affect your thinking or doing silly things.
Second down and 8. They stick to the ground, and not much there that time for Jamal. It'll bring up a 3rd down and pretty good yardage for a first. Carlos Hall made the stop for Arkansas. Clock running at 4:15 to go in the first half. Tennessee up 17-14 here in Fayetteville at Razorback Stadium. Capacity crowd of 50,000. It was the first sellout of the year for Arkansas. All of their games sold out at War Memorial in Little Rock and also here, but Tennessee game was the first to be sold out. 6 of 8 in 3rd down conversions for Tennessee in this game. And they're facing a pretty big one right here, and the whistle blows everything dead. Tennessee may have been in motion again.
Well, Arkansas, they're doing a lot of movement up front. The defensive linemen are flinching, making little flinch moves towards the line of scrimmage, trying to draw Tennessee, get the offensive linemen to move a little bit, and then it worked that time, and we'll see who it goes against. This could go against Arkansas.
17-14, Vols lead. Big call right here. It'll be 3rd down and 5 or longer, or it might be a first down. Arkansas is signaling that it's going to go against Tennessee.
Dead ball. Defense was in the neutral zone, causing the offense to move. It's a 5-yard penalty.
Andy, you were right. They jumped around a little too much.
Well, I thought that would be the call. Arkansas, they're allowed to move all they want, but when you make movements toward the offensive line and they're making little flinch movements with their hands and jumping forward, that's the correct call, and then the officials made it that time.
5 yards. Should not that be enough for a first down?
It's going to be pretty close, it looks like.
Now the call, first down. They needed 5. That was a 5-yard penalty. Had to be a first down.
You know, as I said, you can, as a defensive line or you can move all you want, you can shift, you can do any kind of movement you want, but when you start making movements towards the line of scrimmage and intentional with intent of drawing the offense offside, that's the rule out nowadays, and I think that was a correct call. The linemen were making flinches.
All right, now it's first down and 10 to go for Tennessee at their own 22-yard line. They fake it to Jamal. They fire it out in the flat, complete to Cedric Wilson, and he is up short of the 40-yard line, but enough for another first down. DeAndre Berry was primarily the man responsible for bringing him down.
Nice play action by T that time. Wilson ran a post corner route this time, did a nice job. He sold the post and broke it really sharp towards the corner and made a nice catch with a very, very good route by Wilson and a good throw by T.
Clock running. We're coming up on the 3-minute mark to go in the first half. Getting a little bit critical as far as Tennessee is concerned right here if they want to drive. Arkansas threatening a blitz. Tennessee picks it up. Dante Stallworth couldn't hang on to it, though. It was not the world's best pass, a little bit behind him, but it was probably catchable.
Yeah, not a great throw by T, but it was probably a blitz adjustment. Arkansas came with the blitz. T. Martin grabbed it, threw it really quickly. Probably should have been caught, but not a great throw. But at Tennessee, you expect your receivers to make those kind of tough catches. I know they had to make a lot for me when I was a quarterback.
Second down and 10 to go. Ball at the 38-yard line of the Vols. They lead 17-14. Tennessee in a passing formation right here. T. Martin getting heavy pressure from the backside. Again, the ball is dropped by Stallworth, and this one was right in the gut.
Tell you what, that's a shame. T. Martin did a nice job. He rolled out, had heavy pressure. He took a shot, held it to the last second, and that ball definitely should have been caught.
Flag down. On a passing play, you wonder if maybe holding was the call.
Illegal participation. Illegal receiver downfield, possibly.
Ineligible receiver downfield on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
So you heard it from the official.
You don't want a penalty at any time, but with the drop pass, it would have been 3rd and 10. This time now, it's 2nd and 15. Maybe Tennessee called a little bit of a break, get an extra down. Actually, obviously you have the extra yardage to go, but you have 2 downs now to get 15 instead of 1 to make 10. Maybe a little bit of a break.
They need to move it to the about the 48-yard line for a first down. T. Martin in a passing mode. Let's start to Jamal. This will be a first down and a lot more. Jamal Lewis apparently did step out of bounds as he pulled up. It appeared he was going to go all the way.
I thought he was going to score, and I said it in the middle of the play and then looked up and saw him stopping. But a nice play call, nice setup by Tennessee. See Jamal set up to the right, ran the quick screen to the left, and nobody out in front. The screens have been pretty good for Tennessee today so far. You see his left foot barely stepped out of bounds. It could have been a huge play. Still a big play, but it could have been possibly, as you said, possibly a touchdown.
So it is not a first down. They still need 4. So it's a 3rd and 4. And what looked like a touchdown turned out to be a pretty short gain. But it set Tennessee up here with a chance to keep the drive alive if they can pick up 4 yards. They've got the 4. Bobby Graham, clutch catch on the sidelines. First down and 10, and it stops the clock at 2:34 remaining in the first half. David Barrett, left corner, made the stop. Barrett has been extremely active today.
See, Graham this time does get enough yardage for the first down. That's the top route. He could do that for the 4 to do it. Nice job, nice catch. T. Martin getting rid of it quickly before the defender had a chance to break on the ball. Now Tennessee's into a 2-minute drill type situation. He's right to the line of scrimmage.
He's got some running room and going to get the first down as he runs out right at the marker. T. Martin with a heads-up play that time. Not only did he get the first, but it appears he might be a shade short, but he importantly stopped the clock with 2:20 to go. They're going to call it a yard shy. It's actually probably more like a half a yard. 40-yard line will get him a first, and it's about the length of the football, or a little bit more away from that. A score here would be very big for Tennessee. It might be demoralizing for Arkansas.
Well, especially with Tennessee coming out in the second half, they're going to get the ball to start the second half, so a touchdown would be big, or any point would be big.
Well, there's your first down by Jamal Lewis, and that will stop the clock while they move the chains. Tennessee now We'll be looking at a first down and 10, and still some time to work with here. 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Still a little bit of time, especially with this position. Tennessee still has 2 timeouts remaining, so it's not a panic situation yet as far as getting to the line of scrimmage.
Here's T firing complete to Cedric Wilson, and he is down inside the 25-yard line. Boy, is Cedric ever a money player. You can count on him in the clutch.
Another big first down. The clock stops again. Tennessee's run that out route with the inside receiver. Look for Tennessee later in the game possibly to come out, fake out to the inside receiver, and the outside receiver is running the go every time. The corner at top that time starting to peek a little bit and look inside for that out route. It may be something Tennessee will come back to later.
2 minutes, 7 seconds of football remaining in the first half, but they don't go away. We've got another half. It's SEC action. And this year, more than ever, not only in this conference, but in every conference, we're seeing some wild adventures every weekend. And now that we're into the critical stage of the BCS polls, well, I guess you could say that the folks who created the BCS knew exactly what they were doing, Andy, because not only have they created the talk, the excitement, but the coverage is, it seems to me, triple what it used to be. And that involves games that normally wouldn't grab all the headlines, but somewhere in every ball game now you can find a little bit of something that will affect one of the top teams. The strength of schedule, that team's schedule, and on down the line. So it has created more interest, I think, especially in the closing weeks of the football season.
I think without a doubt, I think, as you said, it makes every game important. And also, I think it probably affects scheduling a little bit. Teams are, especially the bigger schools, can't really afford to go out and get a lot of, the smaller schools are going to hurt their schedule. It's important for teams to go out and have good, strong schedules.
One thing, Arkansas, in, I guess it's 2002 or something like that, they move up to become like the second game on Tennessee's schedule, and Florida will be third. Right now, of course, Tennessee and Florida meeting in what has been Tennessee's second game of the season every year for quite some time. All right, T. Martin goes into a shotgun, keeps Jamal in to block, and now Jamal slips out of there into a receiving mode. The pass was there, a little high for Bernie Vesey, slipping into the corner. Vesey couldn't quite jump and catch that one, but he was open. But in passing, is no one better qualified than Andy Kelly. I can tell you it's a timing situation down to the split second.
Well, especially in this part of the field, because the field's a little constricted. You're getting closer in the orange area. And the deeper route, there's not as much room for the defensive backs to have to cover, so they can be a little more aggressive. So it goes down to timing and being accurate.
It's second down and 10 to go for Tennessee. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Pressure too much. T had to release it too quickly, and it just kind of fell apart. Bobby Graham was in the neighborhood, the intended receiver. But Arkansas, knowing now that he is going to throw and they're coming after him, and so it's going to have to be the quick timing patterns, not much time.
Well, Arkansas brought the blitz that time, didn't brought more guys than we could block. Graham actually came open and had a chance to have a big play, but T, with the pressure, didn't have a chance to set his feet to get it to him in time.
So it's third down and 10. Tennessee would probably go for a field goal if this one doesn't click for the first down. They've still got 1 minute and 57 seconds to go, and they're going to talk about it a little bit right here. Timeout has been called by the Volunteers. 1:57 remaining in the first half of play. Tennessee 17, Arkansas 14. Mistakes have set up a couple of scores here. Tennessee had a pass deflected off the hands of Jamal Lewis, and David Barrett returned it for a touchdown. And then Arkansas had a fumbled punt. Tennessee recovered it and drove it in 30 yards for a score. So special teams play figured in that one. 1:57 to go. Tennessee 17, Arkansas 14. Vols next week will go stay on the road as they travel to Commonwealth Stadium in Kentucky to take on the Wildcats. And Arkansas, of course, will be traveling over to Little Rock to play Mississippi State in a huge football game for Mississippi State, of course. We're going to take a break here with a minute 57 remaining in the first half. We'll be back with the action. Tennessee 17, Arkansas 14.
Over 35,000 children are reported abused in Alabama each year. One is reported abused every 20 minutes. Kids, you just can't beat them. Think about it. A message from the Alabama Council on Child Abuse.
How does cable TV make education come alive for our children? What are 41 million students getting from cable's commercial-free educational television? Ways that make geography and history come to life. Electronic field trips all over the world. And cable TV downloads from the internet 50 to 100 times faster than a phone line. And it's free. If all this has caught your attention, just think what it does for a 9-year-old. Cable TV, wired to the future.
Hi there. You know, TV can inform, educate, and entertain, but not everything is appropriate for kids. Here's something you can do to take charge of your TV.
To make informed choices about what programs are right for your children, use the TV ratings. The ratings give you information about the content of a show and whether it's appropriate for certain ages. The ratings can help you make smart viewing choices and use the family TV wisely.
Brought to you by the National PTA and the cable television industry.
All right, back to the action. Tennessee now, 3rd down and 10. T. Martin firing out in the flat to Jamal Lewis. Looking for running room. It's going to be close. I believe he has the first down. The referee stops the clock to check on that. Jamal Lewis hit by Randy Garner, but a good effort by Lewis, I think, got the first.
Well, again, Tennessee comes out, another big play on a screen play. The screens have been working very well for Tennessee today. Arkansas up front have been very aggressive. They're coming after T. Martin. The coaches see that. They're calling the screen plays, and Tennessee, the players are executing them very well. Been very successful so far today with screens.
First down and 10 to go at the 13-yard line. A minute 42 to go. Tennessee, I think, is down to one timeout. Here's the fade pattern by Bobby Graham trying to receive it, and it's incomplete. Orlando Green was the defender. Crowd, I guess, thought maybe there should have been offensive pass interference.
Well, Arkansas again comes with the blitz. T. Martin throws the fade route. Actually, a pretty good job by Graham to keep the ball from being intercepted. It was good coverage that time. Graham actually turned into the defender, trying to knock the ball down. Good defense by Arkansas.
Stops the clock with a minute 35 to go in the first half. Tennessee now with 3 receivers set at the top of your screen, 1 at the bottom, and Jamal in at tailback. He is, I think, going to burn a timeout right here, and if so,
it's going to be another delay.
That's right.
May have been too late in calling the timeout, and we may have a delay.
Back him up. That's right.
Well, a little confusion there. Tennessee, that particular time, broke the huddle when he got to the line of scrimmage. There really wasn't enough time for T to look over and make a change at the line of scrimmage. He tried to get the change in at the last second, and just ran out of time.
T showing a little frustration with the sidelines that time, and
definitely
rightly so, I guess. All right, it becomes now a 2nd and 15. T. Martin looking, going to have to dive, hit the ground, and the clock continues to run. Now, Tennessee is going to take a timeout.
That's
their last
timeout.
one. Yeah.
You know me, Bob. I'm big on timeouts. I don't agree with using the timeout in that situation, but it is 3rd down. Maybe it'll turn out pretty good, but still with a minute 23, you have time to even huddle if you want to and get a play called and get it in and save the timeout for the field goal attempt. But this is a big 3rd down, so maybe it's a good call.
Now, if you get down to a field goal attempt situation and you have to stop the clock, you have to go with a spike if you're lucky. of course, you get down to a 4th down situation, and you can't even do that.
You have to get the field goal team on the field in a hurry and get it away.
And defenses don't normally cooperate a great deal with you in that area.
For some reason, they don't like you to hurry on and off the field. They'll sometimes lay on the ground on top of guys a little longer than they should.
Minute 23, 1:23 on the clock. Tennessee up by 3, 17 to 14. Crowd here in the near 80-degree weather in Fayetteville, Arkansas, watching the Southeastern Conference battle. Arkansas and Tennessee meet every year. Every team has 2 opponents from the other division who are permanent opponents. And for Tennessee, those 2 are Arkansas and Alabama. All right. Let's see what Randy Sanders and T. Martin and all the folks on the offensive side have worked up right here. 3 receivers set to the left, 1 to the right. T. Martin under tremendous pressure. Ball is loose. It's going to be picked up. A flag is down. And we'll see what the official ruling is here. But it all stops the clock at 1:16 to go.
That's going to be intentional grounding.
T. Martin probably will be charged with intentional grounding, and if so, that could actually be a little bit of a break for Tennessee instead of having the fumble.
Actually, Tennessee, after the timeout came out, Arkansas came with a blitz again, and Tennessee wasn't ready. T. Martin didn't see it, and it cost the Vols. He didn't see the blitz until it was too late, and then did all he could just to get rid of the ball. Very close to a fumble, but he did throw it forward, and a pretty good call by the official because he was trying to avoid the sack.
Well, let's be honest, Andy, that was kind of a ragged series for Tennessee.
It was. The last couple of plays, especially, you had the delay of game, and then Tennessee ran a play, used the timeout, and came out and still was confused. Or at least didn't pick up the blitz at all.
Arkansas is not 100% sure it's going to be a punt, but indeed it is, by David Leverton, and it goes into and out of the end zone. So Arkansas will get their hands on the football with 1:09 to go. I would think a little bit of a demoralizing situation for Tennessee there. They were in great position down around the 13-yard line and had a sure 3 and wound up with nothing and looked a little bit ragged and confused at times. And Arkansas's defense, on the other hand, stood up, Andy, and gets the round of applause here. So,
well, they deserve a round of applause. A big stand for Arkansas's defense. But as you said, Tennessee did look ragged. They were confused the last couple of plays, and especially coming out after a timeout, there shouldn't be any confusion, and there was.
Barely got a guy off the field for this one. Here's the handoff. Tennessee spread the field, and they handed off to Cedric Cobbs, and he had a hole big enough to drive a Ryder truck through, and brings it all the way up to a first down. First down and 10 to go for Arkansas. Ball at the 37-yard line of the Hogs.
Tennessee's in the dime package, which means there's 6 defensive backs in the game, only 3 down linemen and 2 linebackers, so the middle is going to be open if Arkansas wants to run it.
They got a little bit of time. Here is the pass knocked down. Nice defense that time by Tennessee. Andre Lott.
I'll tell you, Andre Lott got around and almost got one more step. He had that interception, but pretty good coverage by Lott. Fans on that side of the field wanted an interference call, but we'll take a look here.
Lou Williams, the intended receiver. Good defensive play. Clock stopped on the incomplete pass, though, at 50 seconds to go. Second down and 10. Ball at the 37 of Arkansas. Tennessee jumping around. Raynon faking a blitz. Now they back out at it. Fred White up at the line of scrimmage faking a blitz. And they hit him in the backfield. Nice play by Eric Westmoreland hitting Fred Sterner. Westmoreland has had a super year. There he is, big number 42, who's...
I think Arkansas now is going to let the play clock run down, the game clock run down a little bit, not take any more chances. Maybe take 1 or 2 more shots downfield. But they're definitely going to let the clock run down.
18 seconds and running. 15. Sterner gives it off to Cedric Cobbs on the delay in the middle again. Trap play by the fullback. Arkansas fans, I don't think, are real thrilled with that particular call, but they wanted, as they always do, Andy, to see it go downfield. But under those conditions, Houston not probably made a very wise decision.
Probably not a bad decision. Going to halftime, you're only down by 3. If you're Arkansas right now, you got to feel pretty good. You're playing the number 2 team in the nation, or number 3 team in the nation, number 2 in the BCS, and it's a 3-point game at halftime. Not a bad situation for Arkansas.
I would say so, and Tennessee's kind of stumbling and bumbling in that last drive and not getting anything out of it, including what would have been a pretty good chip shot field goal, coming away with nothing. Tennessee's got a little motivating to do here among themselves and by the coaches at halftime. We're going to take a break here at halftime in Fayetteville, Arkansas in the Southeastern Conference battle. The Tennessee Volunteers leading the Arkansas Razorbacks by a score of 17-14.
On CSS, Monday night is Volunteer Night, with the man whose career record ranks first among active NCAA head coaches, the Bill Fulmer Show. Tennessee football. Can T. Martin and the rest of the Vols pull off another national championship? Watch CSS and find out. And UT Classics. Tennessee football too good to see only once. CSS, your sports authority in the Southeast.
Only one network delivers more golf than anywhere else.
The Golf Channel brings you everything you want to know, watch, and enjoy from past and present in the world of golf.
More live call-in golf chat.
Not bad for an old stiff guy. Very fitting.
And instruction with top teaching professionals.
All right, Rob. That's a very common problem.
More up-to-the-minute nightly golf news, worldwide tournaments, plus early round coverage of premier PGA Tour events.
And much more. The Golf Channel. More golf.
If you don't have time to watch, log on to grtv.com. It's the store that's always open. When you want to find out more, bookmark grtv.com. Still deciding? Shop at your convenience 24 hours a day at grtv.com. Did you forget the 800 number? Click twice on grtv.com. Simply convenient. On demand. grtv.com.
The excitement of SWAC football is here. There is nothing better than a battle in the SWAC. The fans, the bands, and the football. SWAC football is the best. Don't miss SWAC football. It's the bright young stars of the future delivering the best in college football action today. Stay tuned to this SWAC television network station, the home of classic SWAC football.
Haven't heard from the network that knows Hollywood best. The E! True Hollywood Story. Every night at 9, only on E!
All right, here at halftime, Tennessee leading 17-14. Let's take a look, Andy, at some of the stats at halftime. And a few kind of shocking. Tennessee in first down, 17-6. Edge, yards rushing, they're almost dead even. But what's so surprising there, Andy, is the inability of the Tennessee tailbacks. T. Martin's got 41 of the yards himself. Jamal Lewis only 27, and Travis Henry only 14. And then in turnovers, they're even. Time of possession, though, is a real big edge for Tennessee. They're out front there by 19 minutes and 53 seconds to 10:07. But really total confusion at the end of the first half for Tennessee. We'll take a break, take a look at highlights, second half action coming up from Fayetteville, Arkansas. Volunteers 17-14.
Like I'm gonna fall for that old trick.
Not so good.
All 4 barricades, huh?
It's all about being in the right place at the right time. Celebrate from the driver's seat in a new Ford Escort or ZX2. Now during the Ford authorized clearance, get $2,000 cash back on a 99 Escort or ZX2, or choose 0.9% financing plus $1,250 cash back. Celebrate $2,000 on Escort during the Ford authorized clearance at your local Ford dealer.
So, how's your mom?
She's gonna be okay.
You know, a while back, I was hurt too.
Did you come to St. Mary's?
Oh yeah, St. Mary's is the best.
It looks like they healed your injury.
It sure did. I bet you saw me on those St. Mary's TV commercials. Now I play for the Colts. Broke every rookie passing record last year.
So, you play for a living?
Trouble doesn't wear a watch. That's why State Farm offers its 24-hour Good Neighbor service from participating agents.
Hello, State Farm's Good Neighbor Service. This is Gina. How may I help you? Sure, I can help you with that.
So you can call your agent's office at any time, day or night, to start a claim, ask a question, and get the help you need.
Andy, let's take a look at the highlights, Andy, here in the first half. Volunteers up 17-14.
Well, Arkansas came out early in Tennessee's first possession. T. Martin passed a little bit behind Lewis. You see Barrett steps in, makes the interception, and Arkansas comes up with a big play early in the game on defense to get to draw first blood and go on the board and take the 7-0 lead. See, Tennessee comes back later. Jamal Lewis takes a sweep on the third down play, gets it into the end zone with a nice blocking out front by Will Bartholomew, the fullback. Arkansas fights back, gets it down the field. Sterner this time finds the tight end Davenport in the end zone. It's a play Raynoch Thompson thought there was a push-off on, but nevertheless a touchdown for Arkansas to go back and take the lead again. And then later in the game, in the second quarter, T. Martin rolls left, finds nothing open, cuts back across the grain, and comes up with a big touchdown run. Nice athletic play by T. Martin to take the lead. And then right before halftime, Tennessee also had the ball driving it. A little confusion. They had to use a timeout when they shouldn't have, and then a couple of plays where T. Martin was just kind of, didn't look like he was in purpose.
All right, we'll be back with the second half action. Right now, let's pause for these words.
On CSS, Wednesday night is Mississippi night with the University of Southern Mississippi head coaching show, The Jeff Bower Show. Formerly of Tennessee, Ole Miss football with David Cutcliffe. The Bulldogs head coach, The Jackie Sherrill Show, and Mississippi State football. Can you believe the season these guys are having? Think they can keep it up? Watch CSS and find out. CSS, your sports authority in the Southeast.
Don't worry about bad storms or Y2K. Now just a simple touch will light the way. Introducing Instant Touch Light. Affordable custom lighting at the touch of your fingers. You can easily light the shower. Now see what's under the sink or in the pantry. Light the closet exactly where you need it. With just a touch, you can light a hutch. Never be stranded at the bottom of the cellar stairs again. Don't be blinded by the light. With just a touch, you can see just right. They're always there when kids need them. A must for in the car or in the trunk. Custom light walkways and dangerous dark stairs. Perfect for all holiday decorations. Order now and get 6 Instant Touch Lights with a 30-day risk-free guarantee for only $14.95. Order Instant Touch Lights for $14.95 right now.
To order your Instant Touch Light system, call 1-800-521-9993 or send a check or money order to Instant Touch Light, 1008 Peck Street, Nashville, Tennessee, 37206.
It's only a little scratch.
Here a scratch, there a scratch, everywhere a scratch, and they're all an eyesore. What you need is GS27 Scratch Remover. GS27 gets rid of those surface scratches and paint swirls quickly and easily. Simply rub it into the scratch, then polish to a beautiful finish. The scratch is gone. GS27 is not an abrasive, and it works wonders on any color. Would you do this to a brand new car? Ouch! But GS27 removes that ugly scratch quickly and easily. It'll even remove paint scrapes and unsightly rust. GS27 is only $14.95. But order now and get a second tube for only $5. That's 2 for just $19.95. Order now.
To order GS27, call 1-800-515-9944 or send a check or money order to the address listed.
All right, back here at Fayetteville, Bob Bell along with Andy Kelly and Terrence Cleveland. It Vols up by 3. Andy, what's Tennessee got to do to assure themselves of a victory here?
Well, as we said earlier, they blew a golden opportunity late in the first half. They had the ball down inside the orange area around the 20-yard line, driving with the chance to at least put some points on the board to get a field goal attempt. There was confusion, used a timeout, came out after the timeout, had the big sack with the penalty, the intentional grounding, so blew a golden opportunity. But for Tennessee, I think, more than anything else, just to come out and do the things that were working in the first half. They weren't having a lot of success running the ball between the tackles. I'm sure they're going to make some adjustments on that. But defensively, Tennessee's done a pretty good job. Arkansas's had the one long drive, but other than that, Tennessee's done a pretty good job on defense.
All right, we'll have the second half kickoff coming your way in just a moment from Fayetteville. Tennessee trying to protect the 3-point lead as we start the second half.
Hi, I'm Kenny Mayne along with Dan Patrick, who will now speak. Don't miss SportsCenter on ESPN and Comcast Cable.
If I had one of those TV rating boxes on my television, the #1 show in the country would be 11 p.m. SportsCenter. Okay, maybe it won't hit #1, but it'll definitely give Dom and Greg a run for their money.
Somewhere closer than you might think, there's a place that's still so good and clean and fresh. A place where memories are created every day. Call 1-800-ALABAMA and find out why Alabama is what you love about the South.
Yeah, like Osborne Fresh Distributed Times from Great Southern Wood, the lumber with a lifetime guarantee. Jimmy, you just like her because she's wearing yellow. No, Coach, that gal's got talent and a winning smile to boot. So remember, if it doesn't say Osmos on the yellow tag, believe me, you don't want it.
Kickoff shortly. In the meantime, let's go down on the sidelines to Terrence Cleveland.
Guys, at halftime, Coach Fulmer talked to his team about the intensity. He said, guys, we aren't playing with any intensity. All year, the defense has been the one to set the tempo for the football game. They've struggled so far in this game. He asked his group to rally together, pick everyone else up, and come and play Tennessee football. He said, we're in for a tough Southeastern Conference football game in the second half. Back upstairs to you.
All right, there's the kick. Tennessee won the toss to begin the ball game, deferred to the second half. The kick is into the end zone. Will be down there by the Vols, and they'll bring it out to the 20 to start the second half, 1st and 10 at that point. Volunteers 17-14 with so much riding on it. Yes, I know Arkansas is involved in a big game, too. They want to win at home, the last game here for the seniors in this stadium. But when you consider Tennessee is playing for perhaps a national championship, then the Vols should be playing with a great deal of intensity.
Well, as you said, there's a lot at stake for both teams, and, you know, probably Tennessee has a little more at stake, because they are in a position to have a chance to defend a national championship.
All right, T. Martin with an eye backfield, one receiver on each side. Takes it to his tailback and has the ball batted right back in his face.
That's unfortunate, because Eric Parker had run a really, really nice route down here at the bottom of the field and ran an out route, about a 12, 15-yard gain. He was wide open. The ball just got batted down at the line of scrimmage. It was really unfortunate for T. Martin and the Tennessee offense, because Parker was open.
Carlos Hall was the man who made the big play defensively for Arkansas. Arkansas's theory has been here to make the Vols go to the air, shut down the run, and they have done a good job with that. Here's the handoff to Jamal. He's going to bounce outside and nothing. That's been the case all day. He has gone down primarily around the line of scrimmage for most of the day. Did have one touchdown run, though, short yardage, but that will bring his total up to about 28 yards for the entire ball game. Harper, strong safety, was the man who made the stop. So Tennessee again, as they have so many times today, looks at a big third down and long. 3rd and 10. They have had some success converting on third downs, though. Let's see if they can do it again right here. Ball's up 17-14, needing 10 yards for a first. They got it. Again, it's the money man, Cedric Wilson. Mr. Clutch, who comes through. Correction, Eric Parker, number 2 clutch.
Well, another clutch guy. You can call either one of them. Eric Parker's stepping up to the plate and making some big plays, but another, I just said Tennessee had to convert another big third down. T. Martin stepped in there strong, made a good throw, and Parker made a nice catch. So they're putting themselves in a position to have to make these long third downs, but they're coming through so far with quite a few of them.
All right, let's see. To stay in the air or stay on the ground. It's a big run by Jamal. Good running this time by Jamal. Kanoy Kennedy made the stop just shy of the first down by 1.5 yards or 2 yards. They're even. Time of possession, though, is a real big ache for Tennessee. They're out front there by 19 minutes and 53 seconds to 10:07. But really total confusion at the end of the first half for Tennessee. We'll take a break, take a look at highlights, second half action coming up from Fayetteville, Arkansas. Volunteers 17-14.
Hey, Buckman. Follow us. Come on.
Like I'm gonna fall for that old trick.
Not so good.
All 4 barricades, huh?
It's all about being in the right place at the right time. Celebrate from the driver's seat in a new Ford Escort or ZX2. Now during the Ford authorized clearance, get $2,000 cash back on a '99 Escort or ZX2, or choose 0.9% financing plus $1,250 cash back. Celebrate $2,000 on Escort during the Ford authorized clearance at your local Ford dealer.
So, how's your mom?
She's gonna be okay.
You know, a while back, I was hurt too.
Did you come to St. Mary's?
Oh yeah, St. Mary's is the best.
It looks like they healed your injury.
It sure did. I bet you saw me on those St. Mary's TV commercials. Now I play for the Colts. Broke every rookie passing record last year.
So, you play for a living?
Trouble doesn't wear a watch. That's why State Farm offers its 24-hour Good Neighbor service from participating agents.
Hello, State Farm's Good Neighbor Service. This is Gina. How may I help you? Sure, I can help you with that.
So you can call your agent's office at any time, day or night, to start a claim, ask a question, and get the help you need.
Andy, let's take a look at the highlights, Andy, here in the first half. Volunteers up 17-14.
Well, Arkansas came out early, and in Tennessee's first possession, T. Martin passed a little bit behind Lewis. You see Barrett steps in, makes the interception, and Arkansas comes up with a big play early in the game on defense to get to draw first blood and go on the board and take the 7-0 lead. See, Tennessee comes back later. Jamal Lewis takes a sweep on the third down play, gets it in the end zone with a nice blocking out front by Will Bartholomew, the fullback. Arkansas bites back, gets it down the field. Sterner this time finds the tight end Davenport in the end zone. It's a play Raynoch Thompson thought there was a push-off on, but nevertheless a touchdown for Arkansas to go back and take the lead again. And then later in the game, in the second quarter, T. Martin rolls left, finds nothing open, cuts back across the grain, and comes up with a big touchdown run. Nice athletic play by T. Martin to take the lead. And then right before halftime, Tennessee also had the ball driving it. A little confusion. They had to use a timeout when they shouldn't have, and then a couple of plays where T. Martin was just kind of, didn't look like he was in purpose.
All right, we'll be back with the second half action. Right now, let's pause for these words.
On CSS, Wednesday night is Mississippi night with the University of Southern Mississippi head coaching show, the Jeff Bower Show. Formerly of Tennessee, Ole Miss football with David Cutcliffe. The Bulldogs head coach, the Jackie Sherrill Show, and Mississippi State football. Do you believe the season these guys are having? Think they can keep it up? Watch CSS and find out. CSS, your sports authority in the Southeast.
Don't worry about bad storms or Y2K. Now just a simple touch will light the way. Introducing Instant Touch Light, affordable custom lighting at the touch of your fingers. You can easily light the shower. Now, see what's under the sink or in the pantry. Light the closet exactly where you need it. With just a touch, you can light a hutch. Never be stranded at the bottom of the cellar stairs again. Don't be blinded by the light. With just a touch, you can see just right. They're always there when kids need them. A must for in the car or in the trunk. Custom light walkways and dangerous dark stairs. Perfect for all holiday decorations. Order now and get 6 Instant Touch Lights with a 30-day risk-free guarantee for only $14.95. Order Instant Touch Lights for $14.95 right now.
To order your Instant Touch Light system, call 1-800-521-9993 or send a check or money order to Instant Touch Light, 1008 Peck Street, Nashville, Tennessee, 37206.
It's only a little scratch.
Here a scratch, there a scratch, everywhere a scratch, and they're all an eyesore. What you need is GS27 Scratch Remover. GS27 gets rid of those surface scratches and paint swirls quickly and easily. Simply rub it into the scratch, then polish to a beautiful finish. The scratch is gone. GS27 is not an abrasive, and it works wonders on any color. Would you do this to a brand new car? Ouch! But GS27 removes that ugly scratch quickly and easily. It'll even remove paint scrapes and unsightly rust. GS27 is only $14.95, but order now and get a second tube for only $5. That's 2 for just $19.95. Order now.
To order GS27, call 1-800-515-9944 or send a check or money order to the address listed.
Back here at Fayetteville, Bob Bell, along with Andy Kelly and Terrence Cleveland. It Vols up by 3. Andy, what's Tennessee got to do to assure themselves of a victory here?
Well, as we said earlier, they blew a golden opportunity late in the first half. They had the ball down inside the orange area around the 20-yard line, driving with a chance to at least put some points on the board to get a field goal attempt. There was confusion, used a timeout, came out after the timeout. Had the big sack with the penalty, the intentional grounding, so blew a golden opportunity. But for Tennessee, I think more than anything else, just to come out and do the things that were working in the first half. They weren't having a lot of success running the ball between the tackles. I'm sure they're going to make some adjustments on that. But defensively, Tennessee's done a pretty good job. Arkansas's had the one long drive, but other than that, Tennessee's done a pretty good job on defense.
All right, we'll have the second half kickoff coming your way in just a moment from Fayetteville. Tennessee trying to protect the 3-point lead as we start the second half.
Hi, I'm Kenny Mayne along with Dan Patrick, who will now speak. Don't miss SportsCenter on ESPN and Comcast Cable.
If I had one of those TV rating boxes on my television, the #1 show in the country would be 11 p.m. SportsCenter. Okay, maybe it won't hit #1, but it'll definitely give Dharma and Greg a run for their money.
Somewhere closer than you might think, there's a place that's still so good and clean and fresh. A place where memories are created every day. Call 1-800-ALABAMA and find out why Alabama is what you love about the South.
Yeah, like I saw Special Super Times from Great Southern Wood, the lumber with a lifetime guarantee.
like her because she's wearing yellow.
No, Coach, that gal's got talent. And a winning smile to boot.
So remember, if it doesn't say Osmos on the yellow tag, believe me, you don't want it.
Kickoff shortly. In the meantime, let's go down on the sidelines to Terrence Cleveland.
Guys, at halftime, Coach Boomer talked to his team about the intensity. He said, guys, we aren't playing with any intensity. All year, the defense has been the one to set the tempo for the football game. They struggled so far in this game. He asked his group to rally together, pick everyone else up, and come and play Tennessee football. He said, we're in for a tough Southeastern Conference football game in the second half. Back upstairs to you.
All right, there's the kick. Tennessee won the toss to begin the ball game, deferred to the second half. The kick is into the end zone. Will be down there by the Vols, and they'll bring it out to the 20 to start the second half, 1st and 10 at that point. Volunteers 17-14 with so much riding on it. Yes, I know Arkansas is involved in a big game, too. They want to win at home, the last game here for the seniors in this stadium. But when you consider Tennessee is playing for perhaps a national championship, then the Vols should be playing with a great deal of intensity.
Well, as you said, there's a lot at stake for both teams, and, you know, probably Tennessee has a little more at stake, so they are in a position to have a chance to defend a national championship.
All right, T. Martin with an eye backfield, one receiver on each side. Takes it to his tailback and has the ball batted right back in his face.
That's unfortunate because Eric Parker had run a really, really nice route down here at the bottom of the field and ran an out route, about a 12, 15-yard gain. He was wide open. The ball just got batted down at the line of scrimmage. It was really unfortunate for T. Martin and the Tennessee offense because Parker was open.
Carlos Hall was the man who made the big play defensively for Arkansas. Arkansas's theory has been here to make the Vols go to the air, shut down the run, and they have done a good job with that. Here's the handoff to Jamal. He's going to bounce outside and nothing. That's been the case all day. He has gone down primarily around the line of scrimmage for most of the day. Did have one touchdown run, though, short yardage, but that will bring his total up to about 28 yards for the entire ball game. Harper, strong safety, was the man who made the stop. So Tennessee again, as they have so many times today, looks at a big 3rd down and long. 3rd and 10. They have had some success converting on 3rd downs, though. Let's see if they can do it again right here. Vols up 17-14, needing 10 yards for a first. They got it. Again, it's the money man, Cedric Wilson. Mr. Clutch, who comes through. Correction, Eric Parker, number 2 clutch.
Well, another clutch guy. You can call either one of them. Eric Parker's stepping up to the plate, making some big plays, but another, as you said, Tennessee had to convert another big 3rd down. T. Martin stepped in there strong, made a good throw, and Parker made a nice catch. So they're putting themselves in a position to have to make these long 3rd downs, but they're coming through so far with quite a few of them.
All right, let's see. To stay in the air or stay on the ground. It's a big run by Jamal. Good running this time by Jamal. Kanoy Kennedy made the stop just shy of the 1st down by a yard and a half or 2 yards, but the hole was there running behind Chad Clifton and the left side of the line. Red Weary. Vols looking at a 2nd down and 4 as Jamal picks up 6, and as Andy has pointed out so often this year, if you get that 5 or 6 on 1st down, it leaves you in real good shape with a variety of calls you can make. They go back to Jamal, and he goes down with nothing much to show for that one. Jeremiah Harper made the stop for Arkansas.
You can see there's a strong safety making the play at the line of scrimmage. That means Arkansas, they're letting their secondary guys, the strong safety in particular, be very active in the running game. That's one of the reasons they've had success shutting down Tennessee's running game. On the other hand, Tennessee sees that, and they've had a little bit of success throwing the ball as well, and with some play action and rollout.
So it's 3rd down and 4. Yet another 3rd down critical situation for Tennessee. Leading by only 3, 17-14 here in Fayetteville. 4 receivers set, 2 on each side. Pressure, too much pressure, and he threw it a little too quickly, and we've got whistles and a flag maybe in the midst of all of this.
Dead ball. delay of game on the offense, a 5-yard penalty, repeat third down.
What is that, Andy? At least 3 times, I believe, right?
2 I know of, maybe 3. But again, I said Tennessee gets a penalty, but maybe called a break because that was probably going to be incomplete. T. Martin had a lot of pressure. Probably wouldn't have gotten the playoff complete anyway. Maybe get another crack at it. Probably, get a penalty, get a break. That usually doesn't happen that way.
So it's third down again. 9 yards to go for a first. They need to move it up to about the 44-yard line for a first down. Here's T. Martin with time over the middle. It's batted down. Intended for Cedric Wilson. Defensively, it was Jamel Harris who made the stop, and Tennessee's offense comes out sputtering somewhat here to begin the second half, as it did to end the first half. Leverton will be punting, and Morielli will be back to receive. Rossi Morielli to receive for Arkansas. Everton needs to get a lot of foot into this one. It's fairly decent kick. It's going to be fielded, and he's going to be dropped, swung down 5 or 6 yards downfield from where he caught it. Anthony Sessions made the hit for Tennessee. We're early in the second half, 11 minutes, 51 seconds to go. Arkansas is set to take over the football, with Tennessee leading the Razorbacks 17-14.
For the title is on.
See you later. Touchdown.
It's college football season, and we've got your Big 12 excitement right here.
Absolutely sensational. Oh, my goodness. Right off the side. He's got it. Touchdown.
College football is definitely back.
It's time. Classic time. This week in Black College Life, visit cities and classics all throughout the season. Get ready for non-stop excitement with the Ramsey Tour from game day broadcasts on Sundays at 3 p.m. The weekly magazine show is tailgated in pre-game spectaculars on Friday at 6 p.m. The best games, the best bands, and definitely the best fans. This is Chuck Bosch. Check us out, because we'll be checking you out in an in-zone somewhere near.
If you don't have time to watch, log on to grtv.com. It's the store that's always open. When you want to find out more, bookmark grtv.com. Still deciding? Shop at your convenience 24 hours a day at grtv.com. Did you forget the 800 number? Click twice on grtv.com. Simply convenient. On demand. grtv.com.
Back here at Fayetteville, the Razorbacks held Tennessee. They take over now after the punt at their own 26-yard line. Cedric Cobbs is the tailback. He's got every yard that they have on the ground. Puma has not picked up a yard. Here is Sterner with a screen pass. Set up to Cobbs. Good running room and good gain out to close to the 40-yard line. Dominic Stevenson and Will Overstreet made the stop.
I set up that time by Arkansas. They took a little play out of Tennessee's playbook out of the first half. Tennessee had a lot of success running the screen. This time Arkansas returns the favor. Tennessee's very aggressive on defense, just like Arkansas has been today. Arkansas took advantage of it that time and let the pass rush come. Get the lineman out in front, and Cobbs does a nice job picking up the first down.
14 yards to be exact. At the 40, it's first down and 10 to go. And puts a man in motion here. Makes it to, well, he gives it off to his tailback, and this time Tennessee plays it beautifully, and there's nowhere to go. It's Fred White from strong safety hitting Cedric Cobbs. Fred White, in many ways, plays safety, yes, but he plays more like a linebacker because he will inch up, and he's certainly the best tackler in the secondary.
As I said earlier about Arkansas' strong safety becoming involved in the running game, so Fred White, that's one of his strong points, as you said, tackling and being involved in the running game.
Second down and 10 to go. Tennessee creeping up to the line of scrimmage. We're probably going to see Cedric Cobbs. Peters in, and he goes down after a yard or so. Red White, Darwin Walker. Safety and defensive tackle made the stop. So Arkansas comes here to the line of scrimmage facing a big third down situation. The number's on Cedric Cobbs, true freshman. Needless to say, extremely highly recruited out of high school and lands right here in his home state with the Razorbacks. And oh, are they happy about that. Sterner goes into the shotgun. Tennessee puts great pressure on him. Almost, it was intercepted, I believe. Yes, on the second deflection. The second deflection, Raynoch Thompson pulls it in. Oh, it was like a basketball out there, Andy, for a few seconds.
It's like a pinball bouncing around, but Tennessee catches a break. The ball, something Sterner did the ball a little bit high. I don't think this is a screen. It's just a dump off. It's not a good throw. See, Cobbs gets his hand up kind of similar to Tennessee's interception earlier, T. Martin's interception earlier. His running back gets a hand on the ball, tips it up in the air.
Will Overstreet, then Raynoch.
Yeah, when that happens, anything that can happen. Good awareness by Raynoch Thompson to catch the double deflection.
Ball on the 45 of Arkansas. Tennessee in great shape. Can they take advantage? They've got a receiver, Dante Stallworth, complete down at the 30-yard line.
Excellent throw this time by T. Martin. Stallworth holds on to it, runs a nice out route. The one Sparkler was open on earlier, but T. Martin does a nice job of the play fake. That may be his best throw of the day so far. A long out route. This ball's right on the money and right on time. Team stepping up strong in the pocket, delivering it with a nice spiral, right on the money. Big first down play.
Those are the kind of passes that NFL scouts judge you on. High backfield this time. Receiver set on each side. The others in the middle to Travis Henry. Not much there. But Tennessee, remember, just before the half ended, down in this part of the field and much deeper even, and came away with nothing. They don't want that to happen again. Curtis Davis, Randy Garner were the stoppers that time for the Hogs.
When the defense comes out and comes up with a big turnover, and the offensive job to take advantage of it, put points on the board. That's what you have to do. That's what good football teams do. And Tennessee, the last several years, have been very good at taking advantage of other teams' mistakes.
Second down and 8 yards to go. The give on the outside to Henry. Touchdown, Tennessee.
I tell you, Tennessee's been pounding it inside the tackles over and over and over and over. And then all of a sudden you catch a sweep. There was nobody out there. Arkansas was, everybody was packed in the middle. Tennessee does a nice job kicking the lone defender that was out there out to the sideline. And there was nothing but Travis Henry to do but turn on the jets and get to the end zone. Just a nice play call. And again, I think that's been set up by Tennessee. Running it inside the tackles all day long. And then all of a sudden pop a sweep on them. They scored on one earlier. And then again with a sweep from a long way out.
All right, Alex Walls will try to tack on the extra point. He does that. And Tennessee goes up by 10, 24-14 here in Fayetteville. Well, the running game, which has been rather stagnant all day for Tennessee, primarily because Arkansas has stacked the line of scrimmage and kind of dared Tennessee to run, but that time it was very, very successful, very pretty play. Tennessee is leading here in Fayetteville over the Hogs by a score of 24-14. We'll be back after this.
Beer is the best it can be at the brewery. Fresh and at its peak of taste. Light, heat, and age are all enemies of beer that work against its taste from the moment it leaves the brewery. Budweiser's 12 local breweries ensure that your Budweiser is fresh and has not been subject to long trips. So you might say your Budweiser has less miles on it, and that means it'll taste like it does straight from its source.
When partying with your buds, be sure to choose a designated driver. It's the perfect pick-me-up. A message from your friends at Budweiser and O'Doul's.
Great party.
You know, Archie, thousands of people throughout the South choose our most precious seeded pines from Great Southern Wood.
That's right, Jimmy. That yellow tag means it has a lifetime guarantee. Then it comes to you clean and straight.
Exactly. So why remember we sold a single T-shirt. I mean, that gum things are good looking.
It's a disease, Jimmy. So remember, there is a difference. If it doesn't say osmosis on the yellow tag, believe me, you don't want it.
All right, before the Vols kick off, let's take a look at Travis Henry play again here, Andy.
See Bartholomew out in front, the only guy really outside. He took care of that, and Henry got to the corner, and there was nobody there. Arkansas, as you said earlier, Arkansas had everything packed in the middle, expecting it between the tackles. Tennessee ran the sweep. Nice, again, another nice play call, and Henry did a nice job getting in the end zone.
Got 44 yards now on 7 carries. Cedric Cox comes up, takes the short kickoff for Arkansas, and looks for some daylight. Boy, is he explosive. He got knocked down that time, but he kind of makes you hold your breath on every play. 27-yard line is where the Arkansas Razorbacks will put it in play. Steve Marsh made the stop that time. Special teams player for the Vols. There's your drive. 3 plays, 45 yards. Only took a minute 9. Capped by the 28-yard run by Travis Henry. Takuma is in at tailback right now. Chris Takuma. The 2 receivers set on the right side, and Sterner is back and looking in that direction and firing, and the receiver is going to be hit and dropped with no gain. Emmanuel Smith was the receiver. Dwayne Goodrich would not let go.
Nice tackle by Goodrich at that time. Actually, the crowd didn't like the spot, but when Goodrich made the hit, he had about 4 or 5 more yards, and then they lost contact. And so in that case, you can't give him the forward progress. And then Goodrich, you see right here, there's the contact's lost, and the Goodrich grabs him again, so the ball has to be spot back where he's tackled the second time. Actually, you hate to penalize a guy for battling for yardage, but if he'd have gone down as soon as he thought it, he would have actually gained more yardage.
So it becomes 2nd down and 8 for the Razorbacks. Sterner gives it to his tailback. Pretty good yardage that time by Takuma across the 35, 36-yard line. Andre Lott made the stop. It's not enough for a first down, but it's going to be pretty close, a couple of yards away.
To the 37.
Raynoch Thompson in defensively that time also. He is down. Raynoch is down. Raynoch just this week was named one of the finalists for the Butkus Award. He had been a semifinalist for a month or so, and this week he's one of the 4 finalists. A lot of people think that's a lock for LeVar Arrington of Penn State, but Raynoch has had a super year. Kind of a quiet year by his standards, a little more flamboyant publicity surrounding last year's play, but it's been one of leadership and quality play this year, and he doesn't appear to be hurt very badly, so I suspect we'll see him back. Let's take a look, see if we can pick it up, Andy.
It's hard to see there. Maybe the way he landed on the shoulder, perhaps. He was outstretched trying to dive, and maybe landed awkwardly on his arm or shoulder. It's really hard to tell.
Judd Granzo replaces him in the lineup. Takuma is still in at tailback for the Razorbacks. They're looking at a 3rd and no more than a yard and a half or so to go for a first down. So here comes a big down, and he's got the first down. He's got a lot more. Takes Fred White out of the secondary to finally nail him down along with Deion Grant. But Takuma has got the first down. And Tennessee appears to have another player down. Yet another ball is down. Raynoch went out on the last play. Seven minutes, 11 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter of play. Tennessee leading 24-14. Raynoch is on the sidelines being treated, and we've got the glasses on. Is it Walker? Darwin Walker. Boy, do not want to lose Darwin Walker. One of the captains, strongest man on the football team, and just a rock when it comes to playing defensive tackle. And he's being attended to. Of course, Tennessee lost Billy Ratliff, one of their starting tackles early on in the year with the broken leg and foot, so he will not return this year. And they've got the two youngsters, John Henderson and Albert Hainsworth, who are having to play full-time now. There's Darwin.
It's like he's holding his stomach. Maybe he took a shot in the stomach or something. Kind of awkward way, maybe perhaps another shoulder way he's holding his hand. It's hard to tell.
There's big Darwin Walker. Benches over 500 pounds. Expected to play on Sunday afternoons.
I say that kind of strength comes in handy when you're a pass rusher. You use your upper body and legs to get a bull rush and get some movement and play on the other side of the football.
Albert Hainsworth has replaced him, a 300-pound plus freshman. True freshman. All right, Arkansas looking at a first down and 10. Tennessee's defense trying to dig in here and stop what's turned out to be a pretty good little drive for the Hogs. And the pass is complete to Williams, and he is dropped just after he crossed the 45-yard line. Sean Ellis.
Sean Ellis got pretty good pressure that time on Sterner. Put a slip of the legs. Sterner held it the last second. Ellis put a nice little pop on him.
His last 2 or 3 ball games have really, really been good. In fact, the defensive end play all year, as you look at a position, by position, Andy, is probably as good as any position on the entire Tennessee team.
No, without a doubt.
Here's Sterner, 2 receivers set to the left side. He's going to swing back and look in that direction. He's got a man running free. Going to be a touchdown, Arkansas. Boo Williams. And that's not boo, you hear boos, it's Boo Williams.
They had that heck of a throw that time by Clint Sterner. Goodrich was beat by maybe a half a step, but not in terrible position. Sterner rolled a little bit to the right, set up, came back across the field, and put that ball right on the money. That was a very, very nice throw by Clint Sterner, and a nice catch by Boo Williams, and a nice effort to get it in the end zone.
So, Arkansas has a chance to cut Tennessee's 10-point lead right back down to 3. Tony Dotson will be the man. 53-yard play. And it is up there, and it is good, and it's a 24-21 ball game, Tennessee leading. You have to say, Andy, that on that particular series, the Tennessee defense looked a little bit lethargic.
Well, they had a couple of guys get knocked around, banged up a little bit, which you got to give Arkansas credit to. They took it down the field and then came up with a big play for the touchdown.
We're going to take a break here at Fayetteville. 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Tennessee leading Arkansas by 3.
On CSS, Monday night is Volunteer Night, with the man whose career record ranks first among active NCAA head coaches, the Phil Fulmer Show. Tennessee football. Can T. Martin and the rest of the Vols pull off another national championship? Watch CSS and find out. And UT Classics. Tennessee football too good to see only once. CSS, your sports authority in the Southeast.
The excitement of SWAC football is here. There is nothing better than a battle in the SWAC. The fans, the bands, and the football. SWAC football is the best. Don't miss SWAC football. It's the bright young stars of the future delivering the best in college football action today. Stay tuned to this SWAC television network station, the home of classic SWAC football.
From the network that knows Hollywood best. The E! True Hollywood Story. Every night at 9, only on E!
Well, Tennessee is leading 24-21. Let's take a look at that last touchdown, Andy.
See, Sterner just sets up, lets it fly downfield. just a heck of a throw. I mean, that ball was right on the money. It couldn't have been any more perfect. And Williams does a nice job making the catch and fighting into the end zone. But a very, very nice throw by Clint Sterner.
No chance for a return. Tennessee will bring it out to the 20-yard line. Dwayne Goodrich had his back to the quarterback on that when he never turned and didn't see the pass at any particular time, it would appear. There's Darwin Walker with the shoulder pads off and apparently through for the day. Now here comes real pressure on T. Martin and the Tennessee offense to try to answer that last Arkansas score. Jamal Lewis is the tailback. They give it to Jamal, and he kind of dances up to the line of scrimmage and gets maybe a yard and a half or 2 yards. Garner was one of the first men to hit him that time for the Razorbacks. Tennessee with a 3-point lead. It had been a 10-point lead and looking pretty comfortable for the Vols, and then Sterner strikes with the long one. By the way, Sterner's 11 of 17 for 152 yards and a couple of touchdowns. That play covered 53 yards, the last one. So that'll pile your stats up real quick for you. Tennessee looking at 2nd and 8. T. Martin with time fires to Stallworth. Got him. Stallworth still fighting for yardage and is finally knocked down, but he got the first down. Jeremiah Harper made the hit for Arkansas. Let's go down to Terrence Cleveland on the sidelines. Terrence?
Guys, the update on the injured players for Tennessee. Darwin Walker has a separated AC in his left shoulder. They're going to ice it. The pain will determine whether or not he'll be able to go back. Also, Raynoch Thompson is suffering a little pain from where he had hernia surgery earlier in the season. Back upstairs.
Okay, thanks. 2 key members of Tennessee's defense. Very key. Here is T firing too high out on the flag intended for Leonard Scott. Scott the burner. They wanted to get him the quick one and let him see what he could operate with down the sideline, but it was, as you saw, too high.
First time today, Tennessee's really tried to run a screen that hadn't been successful. As you said, the ball just a little bit too high. T trying to get it out there maybe a little too quickly to get the ball into Scott's hand to let him run with it. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Tennessee come back to that a little bit later.
2nd down and 10 to go with the ball at the 37 of the Volunteers. And there's movement everywhere. Looks like Tennessee may have had at least one or more jump.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
Well, the crowd is back into the game now. They're letting Tennessee know it. It's loud right now. This series, the crowd's been into the game since the big touchdown pass, so that's becoming a factor now, the noise factor, and that just means the offense has to heighten their the concentration level.
Tennessee 3 receivers set on the right side, 1 on the left. T. Martin goes into the shotgun, looking at a 2nd and 15. Got time, fires to Eric Parker. Parker still battling for yardage and gets some extra after the catch. Quentin Caver made the stop.
Tennessee comes back. Looks like similar to the route just a few minutes ago to Stallworth for the first down over the middle. That's been open 2 or 3 times today for T. Martin. This time he does a nice job getting it, looking off for a little bit, and he's coming back to the crossing route. Looked like Tennessee had double crossers. Parker was the 2nd guy. Nice lane to throw in, a nice catch, a nice effort by Parker getting up and getting the first down, getting a few extra yards.
Ball is right on the midfield mark. Tennessee a 3 receiver set on the left side. No time to throw. Here comes to Jamal, though, and there's a lot of open ground out there, and Jamal is rambling down to the 15 and inside the 15-yard line.
Like I said a second ago, I wouldn't be surprised when I said Tennessee will come back to the screen. The only screen that hadn't worked was the incomplete just a minute ago. The screens have been there all day for Tennessee, and this was no exception. T. Martin holds on to the last second. Nice catch by Jamal. And then when he comes out there's nobody there. He's running downfield almost all alone and picks up the big yardage to get Tennessee down in the scoring area.
By the way, Tennessee today has had 4 false starts and 3 delay of game penalties. Indicates some concentration problems, but they're moving right now with it. Here's Jamal digging for extra yardage. It's Travis Henry who replaced Jamal after the screen pass play. And D.J. Cooper, left defensive tackle, made the stop for the Razorbacks. Tennessee continues to successfully alternate their tailbacks, Jamal and Henry. 24-21, Tennessee leading and driving, trying to answer that last Arkansas 53-yard touchdown pass play. T back to throw, being pressured, going to be hit, knocked down, ball knocked loose, and Arkansas has it.
You know, this is the area of the field early right before halftime when Arkansas came with the blitz. T. Martin didn't pick it up early in the first half, or late in the first half. This series again, Tennessee's inside the 20. Arkansas comes to the blitz, and you know, I hate to point fingers. Maybe he was supposed to be blocked. Bartholomew maybe missed the block, but obviously something, either a miscommunication with T. Martin and the receiver, or maybe Bartholomew missed the block. But again, Tennessee gets down in the orange area inside the 20 and comes away with nothing.
They still hang on to a 3-point lead, but you cannot do that all day long by continuing to miss those scoring opportunities. And they're letting them slip by. Now Arkansas puts the ball in play offensively, and here comes a big play by the Hogs. Chikuma comes out to the 30-yard line and maybe a shade beyond for a first down run. 2:49 remaining in the third quarter.
Also a counter play this time by Arkansas. Chikuma at the point of attack, nothing there. He makes a nice little cut across the green and cuts back. Picks up big yardage. Deion Grant actually came up after the tackle holding his hand. Looked like he was shaking up again.
Team's had a couple of turnovers here today. Here's Sterner rolling down the line, handing it off to Chikuma, and Tennessee strings it out. Fred White does a good job with it this time defensively, and he is shaken up and going off the field, holding looks like a shoulder.
I'll tell you what, the last 2 or 3 series for Tennessee on defense has been devastating as far as the injuries. You got Fred White out there hurt right now, and that's the third key member of Tennessee's defense on the sidelines right now.
Chris Chikuma is operating a tailback. Cedric Cobbs has been alternating with him. Actually, Cobbs has seen a little more action than the starter Chikuma today. Chikuma now is running well. Here's the fake to Chikuma, and Sterner stands up and throws. Beautiful catch by Anthony Lucas. Using that height, that reach, and bringing it down. Fingertip job.
Tell you what, Sterner knows his personnel, and he knows what kind of receiver Lucas is. He's going to throw the ball high, give his guy Lucas a chance to jump and catch and make the catch high. And that's just smart football by Sterner in Arkansas.
With a 2 or 3 inch advantage over Andre Lott, he comes down with it, and the chains are moved again for the Hogs. Here's the handoff to Chikuma, trying to string it out. Tennessee does a good job. Will not let him get to the corner, will not let him cut back, so they drop him. Dominic Stevenson, the primary tackler that time for the Volunteers. We're coming up on the minute mark in the third quarter. Tennessee leading 24-21, but Arkansas just stopped Tennessee, forced a turnover when Tennessee was down in sure field goal range and probably headed for another touchdown. They came up empty, and now Arkansas is moving with the football. Second down and 7. Sterner going to be looking at a little bit of pressure, but has plenty of time to throw and actually throws it away. Boo Williams was over there in the neighborhood, but well covered by Andre Lott.
I think Arkansas does a nice job that time up front protecting Sterner. Tennessee came with a blitz, and they got stoned at the line of scrimmage, but good coverage downfield by Tennessee secondary, and Sterner really had nowhere to go with it and did the smart thing, just got rid of it, got it out of bounds, avoided the sack.
Big one here for the Tennessee defense. For the Arkansas offense, it's one of those third downs, 3rd down and 7. Clock stopped on the 31-second mark to go here in this quarter, which is the third. Vols up by 3 points. Trying to stay in the championship hunt. Sterner trying to pull the upset. Fires high. This time, Michael Williams could not reach it.
And Williams had a step that time, had a chance to get the first down. Sterner just a little bit high with the throw. He's usually pretty accurate that time, just a little high.
Mickey Allen was there defensively for the Volunteers, so it will be punt time. Chris Aiken will go into punt formation, and Eric Parker will be back to receive. Aiken gets a lot of foot into this one. Taken at about the 12-yard line. Parker really racked, but he's a guy who has no fear, as we've pointed out many times. That's why he's back there returning kicks, and he gets it out across the 25 to set the balls up in pretty good shape.
Well, the Tennessee defense again does their job. Tennessee offensively turned it over deep. Defense has to come back on the field, sudden change, and Arkansas did have a couple nice plays, but overall Tennessee defense shut the series down. Now it's back on Tennessee's offense to try to answer for that turnover earlier.
Jamal Lewis is back at tailback. T. Martin, of course, all the way at quarterback. Bartholomew, for the most part, all the way at fullback. They give it to Jamal, and he's got some running room, and he's still driving. He got pretty close to a first down. Kenoy Kennedy, free safety, had to come up to make the tackle of Jamal Lewis. 7 seconds remaining in this quarter. It is enough for a first down. They waved the chains downfield, so give Jamal an even 10 yards on that carry. This should run the clock out here to end this quarter before we get off another play. So that's the end of 3 quarters of play here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Campus of the University of Arkansas, SEC battle between the Hogs and the Vols. We go to the 4th with Tennessee leading 24-21.
On CSS, Wednesday night is Mississippi night with the University of Southern Mississippi head coach's show, the Jeff Bauer Show. Formerly of Tennessee, Ole Miss football with David Cutcliffe. The Bulldogs head coach, the Jackie Sherrill Show, and Mississippi State football. Do you believe the season these guys are having? Think they can keep it up? Watch CSS and find out. CSS, your sports authority in the Southeast.
Among game show pairings, they take the cake. Bob Barker and Ron Waddy can't hold a candle.
Ben did all his stunts for Ferris Bueller.
I do all my stunts right here.
That's Zajac and Vanna White pale in comparison.
The Fresh Prince of Washington, D.C.
There's just no comparison. Ben and Jimmy are back for an all-new season. Win Ben Stein's money. Weekdays at 7:30 p.m., 6:30 Central, only on Comedy Central.
Arliss stands behind his players. Now they're standing behind him.
Backed by popular demand. Arliss.
I want
Arliss.
Agree.
Arliss. Get me Arliss. A season without Arliss is like playing football without a job.
Arliss.
Another 15 minutes of football. Tennessee leading 24-21. The Vols came in here favored by about 8.5 points against the Razorbacks. Arkansas was just clobbered last week by Ole Miss. Kentucky had their way with the Hogs, and so did Alabama. But they're a different team when they're at home, and they're inspired to play highly ranked Tennessee. Here's T. Martin getting off to the big tailback. He's outside. He's down the sidelines. He's punishing people. Travis Henry, but terrific run by Travis. Finally goes down, but tell you what, after you've hit him a few times, Andy, I'm sure you have the feeling maybe next time I need a lot of help.
Well, it's 2 plays in a row now. Tennessee's had big holes open up. The first play, Jamal Lewis got the big first down. This time Henry comes through with a big hole. Nice job up front by the line, open up the crease, and he hits it. Now Tennessee's back in Arkansas territory.
24 yards on the carry for Travis Henry. He remains at tailback. And he fakes it to the tailback and fires way over the head of everybody. He threw it away. Cedric Wilson was in the neighborhood, but double covered.
Looked like another one receiver route, trying to get Arkansas in man-to-man, one-on-one coverage. They didn't do it. They were in the zone. Two guys were out there, and T just threw it away.
14:27 remaining in the contest. The time of possession is still in Tennessee's favor, 27 minutes to 17. Arkansas, though, has narrowed the margin some in first downs, 24-14. Here is Jamal, backs to the line of scrimmage and about a yard, and that's about it. Jermaine Brooks made the stop along with Quentin Caver. Balls with an awful lot riding on this one.
Lewis limping off the field. His shoulder, Jamal Lewis's shoulder's been giving him a lot of problems this season, but this time it looks like it's his leg or an ankle. He's limping pretty heavily and going off to the sideline.
Third down and 9. Huge down for the Vols offense. They're 9 of 13 in third down conversions. They got a 4-receiver set. Arkansas is going to bring the student body, and the whistle is going to blow it dead.
Dead ball. Delay of game on the offense. A 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
That's 4 delay of game penalties in this ball game.
You know, that's something that, you know, it's really hard to tell whose fault it is. Sometimes the play, if it takes too long to get the play in, then sometimes the quarterback just loses, you know, track of time and loses the play clock and trying to concentrate on making the call at the line of scrimmage that can run out. But those are things that usually T. Martin and the Tennessee coaches usually avoid these types of penalties, especially 4.
Well, now you need 14 for a first down. 3 receivers set on the left. He goes to the right. He's got a receiver down there. Too far.
Well, Wilson had to step that time.
He had a touchdown. Had it been a better throw.
Yep, Wilson got a step on the defender. And if it would have been a good throw, probably would have been a touchdown, but it's a little bit overthrown.
Leverton will be punting now for the Volunteers.
Well, Arkansas was just a lot of confusion. Arkansas had about 15 guys on the field at one time, and Tennessee was lined up ready to snap it. I think they were in the transition of whether to put the punt return team on or keep the defense out. And they were forced to use a timeout to avoid the big penalty.
"13 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in this contest. Tennessee Volunteers 24, Arkansas 21. Don't you go away. We'll be back after this.
Guess I'll have the steak.
If you're driving around with some cut-rate car insurance and you get into an accident, that's when it hits you. There's no State Farm agent to turn to for help.
All operators are busy. Please hold.
So, the choice is yours. Get yourself a State Farm agent.
Please continue holding.
Or get left high and dry.
Advance Auto Parts presents part number 64. Tom, head of PDQ.
Hey, groovy guy, I'm looking for a exhaust gas recirculation valve for my 76 Cordova.
If you need hard-to-find parts, it doesn't matter what model or even what decade your car is from. With PDQ, you usually get the part overnight. Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
There's the story. Fourth quarter, Tennessee leading 24-21. 13-12 remaining in the contest. Tennessee will be forced to punt the football. Rossi Moriali will be back at his 10-yard line to receive the David Leverton punt. Tennessee with a ton of mistakes today. Motion penalties, delay of game, and some passes that have been off target have really hurt them. This one, though, is a great play right here by Leverton on the punt. Down inside the 10 by Derek Edmonds, so Arkansas will go to war here with the ball at the 8-yard line. It's hard to figure football teams, Andy, when you look at Tennessee and you say, here's a team that has a shot. Maybe not the greatest shot in the world, but a shot at repeating as national champion, and then they come out here and play like this today with just a lot of really simple, silly mistakes.
Well, I think, you know, the physical part of it, Arkansas is playing a good football game and going toe-to-toe with Tennessee, but the mental part of it, yeah, when you're going for a national championship, or any time, whether you're going for the national championship or not, you can't afford those type of mental mistakes.
Sterner under at quarterback. 3 receiver set, 2 on the right. He looks on the left and fires up long and a little too hard on that one. And Boo Williams, no chance. And Tennessee defensively, no chance to do anything but watch it sail.
Nice job by Cookers that time. They tried to run a hitch and go or a stop and go, and it really didn't fool anybody. Goodrich and Grant were back in position to make the play if the ball had been thrown on target.
The stadium, they will add an upper deck across from the section where we are, the press box side. They will add to the opposite side an upper deck, and then enclose the scoreboard end zone, the south end zone, and seat about 72,000 next year. Right now it's 50,000 packed in. There's a pass low, but caught by Anthony Lucas and caught for a first down. It's Boo Williams. Boo Williams made the catch. Looked like a Lucas catch.
So that's a pretty good throw by Sterner. That route is not an easy route to throw. He throws it to the back side of the receiver's back shoulder of Boo Williams. He's not really running the stop route. He's not really running the go. He's just going to run, and then when the ball's thrown at the last second, turn and make the catch. That time Goodrich wasn't really even close enough for him to have to turn at the last second. He was able to turn and make the catch pretty easily.
Goodrich and Lott both giving pretty big cushions to the receivers, and they give it off to the tailback instead to Chikuma, and there's not much there for Chikuma. 12-17 to go in this football game. Anthony Sessions made the stop, reserve linebacker. They give him 2. Make it second down and 8 yards to go for a first down. Chikuma remains at tailback. Norman at fullback. Got 2 receivers split here at the bottom of your screen. Sterner is going to go back and wants to throw. That's completed out of the flat. It's in the hands of Emmanuel Smith, and he gets forward for a couple of more yards. Raynoch Thompson, who was shaken up earlier, back on the field and making the stop for the Volunteers. So that's good news. Tennessee fans.
To the 2 receiver side, the inside receiver ran a deep corner route. The outside receiver runs just a stop route, a 5-yard hitch. Tennessee took away the deep route, and he came up and made the tackle on the short route. Pretty good defensive play.
Chikuma at tailback, the lone running back, using 3 wideouts on this one. And Sterner fires complete to Boo Williams.
They the exact same route on the other side of the field for the first down. They come to this side of the field and run the same thing. Just runs off. Sterner throws it, and at the last second, Williams turns to make the catch. It's like a fade stop route. The receiver's running the fade almost route, and then for the last second stops, and the ball's right there. Good execution by Sterner and Williams.
And it moves the chains again. It's first down and 10 to go for the Razorbacks. Ball at their own 33-yard line. Sterner having time to throw. That does make a difference. Looking it over, got 3 receivers set at the top. Hands it off to the tailback, and Chikuma gets a couple before he is racked up by the middle of the line, including John Henderson, big left tackle. Ball's 3-point lead, but very precarious lead. Both teams have quick strike capability, and as we saw that in Arkansas's last one, 53-yard touchdown in the blink of an eye. Their tailbacks are running well right now also. Second down and pretty close to 9 yards for a first. Sterner wants to throw, fires it downfield. It's going to be almost intercepted. I thought Andre Lott had a good shot at it, and actually Lucas, I guess, did a pretty good job of preventing that. So the intended receiver was Lucas, but it looked like Andre Lott was the intended receiver.
Good coverage that time. Sterner came out, pumped to the left. They tried to run another hitch and go route. Again, Tennessee wasn't fooled. Lott was in good position and almost came up with the interception.
So here comes a big third down now for the Tennessee defense. The Arkansas offense, 9 yards to go. One of those where you almost have to put it in the air if you want to take a shot at a draw play or something along that line, but right now they're in the shotgun. They Green, which is pretty much close to a draw, and it's not going to be enough for a first down. Anthony Sessions did a good job of chasing down Chris Jacuma.
Nice job by Sessions that time. He avoided the block and came up and made the tackle, but Arkansas faked the draw actually and came with the screen play. Had worked earlier for Arkansas. This time Tennessee smells it out and does a nice job getting the runner down before he gets the first down.
They're taking into punt, and Eric Parker back to receive, and Parker never asks for a fair catch, and he doesn't here. It goes down immediately, but Tennessee's defense does hold and gives the offense a chance once again to see if they can do anything. A lot of football time left, though. 9 minutes, 39 seconds in this contest. Seems like all the schools where we visit, Andy, and certainly around the University of Tennessee campus, too, you see that same scene. A lot of cranes, a lot of bulldozers, a lot of construction work going on.
A lot of expansion going on, which is good. That's good for the conference.
We're going to take a little break here in Fayetteville at Razorback Stadium. Don't you go away, though. Tennessee's got a 3-point lead, 24-21 over Arkansas.
Only one network delivers more of the drama and excitement of tournament golf. The Golf Channel. More of the stars of tomorrow. More of the top professional players of today. More of the greatest women golfers. More tournaments from around the world. What you've come to expect from the only network devoted exclusively to the game of golf. The Golf Channel. Tournaments.
Hi there. You know, TV can inform, educate, and entertain, but not everything is appropriate for kids. Here's something you can do to take charge of your TV.
To make informed choices about what programs are right for your children, use the TV ratings. The ratings give you information about the content of a show and whether it's appropriate for certain ages. The ratings can help you make smart viewing choices and use the family TV wisely.
Brought to you by the National PTA and the cable television industry.
Well, Andy, I keep saying this, but I think it's true. The pressure is on the Tennessee offense. They need to produce now. The Tennessee defense has done their part. The offense got down and stumbled once and came up empty without points when they should have had. So, again, here comes pressure on T. Martin and the offense. He looks right, throws back. Good screen call here. Good yardage being picked up by Dante Stallworth up and across midfield, or right at the midfield marker where he goes down. So both teams are having success with the screen, especially Tennessee.
I'll tell you what, that's been Tennessee's best play today. Some sort of screen, whether it's a running back screen, receiver screen. This time they fake a screen to the left to the receiver and come back with a receiver screen to the right. And Stallworth catches it with a lot of room to work, with a lot of help in front of him. You see Riley had nobody to block out in front. Stallworth gets there from behind with a big play for first down.
Travis Henry is in a tailback right now with the ball right on the midfield mark. They pitch it to Henry. Henry cuts the corner, gets a little bit of yardage down to about the 45. He's pretty close to getting solid 5 yards out of it. So
good first down play.
Kenoy Kennedy made the stop for the Razorbacks. Arkansas has Mississippi State and Little Rock and LSU and Baton Rouge remaining on their schedule. Tennessee, of course, has Kentucky and Lexington next week, and then Vanderbilt and Knoxville to round out their regular season. Rawls put a man in motion here to the left. T. Martin gives it to Travis Henry, and Travis crashes forward for a couple. He's going to be a couple shy of a first. Kurt Davis made the stop, the right defensive tackle.
Tennessee tries to counter this time. Very close for Henry to almost to pop that, but somebody grabbed his leg at the last second. But I haven't seen too many counters out of Tennessee today. There was one that was really close to being a pretty good play.
3rd down and 2. Tennessee in Arkansas territory at the 45-yard line. Travis Henry is the tailback. They are using only one wide receiver, and now a timeout is going to be called by Tennessee.
Again, there was some confusion. Tennessee broke the huddle late. T. Martin was trying to get the team to the line of scrimmage to hurry because the play clock was down to 6 seconds. Somebody off the sidelines had to run onto the field to call the timeout, or it could have easily been another delay of game. That really shouldn't happen. T. Martin is having to rush the team to the line of scrimmage. Either he's having trouble getting the signals in, or the signals are coming in a little bit too late. But it's definitely been a problem today.
3rd down and 2. Critical situation, so Tennessee wanted to be sure they had the right lineup, right situation, right play call, and obviously they were hesitant there and not sure, so they use a timeout, and nothing burns Andy Kelly more than a timeout. Andy's idea of a timeout is after the game is over, you call one to celebrate then, right?
I love saving timeouts, man, and I'm a stickler for that. That's a pet peeve of mine. But, you know, I guess in this situation, the timeout is better than the penalty, and Tennessee was flirting with another delayed game penalty. So in this situation, you'd rather have the timeout as the penalty. But I hate using timeouts unless it's late in the game, because you never know when you may need an extra timeout late in the game, and especially a close game like it is today.
Well, Tennessee pretty obviously was going to run the football on that play. They had 2 tight ends in. They had only 1 receiver set out to the right. It looked like power football to Travis Henry because they need just 2 yards for a first. But Arkansas certainly knows that now, and let's see if Tennessee changes the strategy here in any way.
Tennessee earlier tried the bootleg with T. Martin, which has been successful in these type situations for Tennessee this year. Earlier in the game, Arkansas was ready for it. So I'm sure that's in the back of Randy Sanders' mind that they were ready for the bootleg earlier in the game.
Darwin Walker, you saw a shot of him there with the bandaged shoulder on the sidelines, pretty obviously through for the day. One of the captains, one of the leaders, one of the best players, and certainly looks like he has some sort of a shoulder problem that's going to prevent him from playing. And now you already look ahead and say, would he be ready next week? Well, only the doctors and trainers can tell us, and that report comes out always on Mondays.
Well, if it's true what Terrence reported, if it's an AC separation, I bruised my AC joint one time in college, and I know that was very painful, and that was just a bruise. So if it's a separation, it could be serious.
All right, they need 2 yards for a first down. They put Johnson, the tight end, in motion. They pitch it to Henry. They're going to give it to him to try to make it, and he is not going to come close. B.J. Cooper strung it out. Arkansas knew exactly what was coming. Tennessee had nobody fooled at all on that one. Boy, after a timeout, you should come up with a better play than that one, Andy.
Well, the sweep had worked earlier, one for 2 touchdowns. Actually, this time Arkansas strung it out, did a nice job. The sweep had worked for Tennessee, but not that particular time.
Morreale is back to receive. David Leverton will be punting, and he'll try to get it as high and deep as he can without crossing the goal line, but it does. Takes a bounce at the 1 and goes into the end zone, and so Arkansas puts it in play at the 20-yard line. Tennessee sputters again offensively. Again having an opportunity to get down and get some points into Arkansas territory, and it fizzles and dies. 7 minutes and 8 seconds of football remaining. Tennessee's got only a 3-point lead. By no means safe against a team that features 2 outstanding tailbacks who played well today, Cedric Cobbs and Chris Chikuma. A very talented quarterback and some very, very good receivers. So Tennessee's defense got to hang on for dear life here. Sterner puts it in the stomach of his tailback, and there's nowhere to go except backwards. Sean Ellis and John Henderson made the stop. And against those two, you're not going to gain a whole lot of yardage. Big John is 6 foot, close to 6'8", about 290, 295, and Sean Ellis is in pushing the 300 range. Cedric Cobbs will be in at tailback.
Really surprised we haven't seen more of him in the second half. It's been more Chikuma in the second half than Cobbs. And Cobbs had a big first half.
He did. Man in motion and long count for Sterner. It's pass all the way. Firing complete to Emmanuel Smith. A tremendous catch. Knowing he was probably going to get hit, he still pulled it down.
Sterner staying in the pocket strong under a little bit of pressure, but a heck of a catch that time. The wind that extended all the way. His body, like you said, he knew he's in the middle of the field and a chance to take a big shot. As a quarterback, you love to see guys that will go after the ball like that.
19 yards. Cedric Cobbs is at tailback now. First down and 10 to go for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Sterner might be checking off. They give it to Cobbs. Deion's chasing him down and runs him out of bounds. Deion Grant, but he did turn the corner for some yardage.
Actually pretty good yards. He's got about 7 or 8 yards. Cobbs showed some pretty good speed that time, getting to the corner and getting 8 yards.
So the Razorbacks are putting themselves in a position to drive down and win this football game. We've still got 5:48 to go, but they're down by only 3, and they are driving with the football. Tennessee, on the other hand, defensively has got to make a stand and put the ball back in the hands of their offense. Cedric Cobbs, the lone running back. He gets the call, and he has a couple of balls missing, and he drives into Tennessee territory. Deion Grant finally from safety brings him down, but not until he's down to the 47-yard line of Tennessee.
See Cobbs again coming in. Hadn't played much the second half, getting his opportunity now and making the most of it. Tennessee missing several tackles there, and Cobbs is keeping his legs turning, picking up more and more yardage.
Chris Chikuma is back in at tailback. Two receivers set to the left, Slapback on the right side. Sterner gives it to his tailback, and Chris Chikuma gets positive yardage pretty close to the 40 before he is knocked down. 41-yard line. John Henderson made the stop.
See, we're seeing something right now that we haven't seen very often this season. Tennessee's defensive line right now is getting pushed back. Offensive line for Arkansas is doing a good job opening holes up, and the running backs are hitting them hard. But this is something you don't see very often out of the Tennessee team. They're getting pushed around a little bit late in the fourth quarter.
Darwin Walker is not in there, but still, that shouldn't be happening to the ball front. They shift those tailbacks again. Cedric Cobbs is the man this time, and he gets the call. He gets an opening and a lot more down the sidelines. Driving for another first down, Deion Grant saved the touchdown. Arkansas in great position here. 4:32 remaining in the contest. They're down by only 3, but they're driving and running almost at will right now against the Tennessee line.
This offensive line for Arkansas is they're taking control of the game right now.
Ball is resting on the 25-yard line. The crowd senses Something big here, and Tennessee's fans are trying to drive their defense to put a stop to it. Dobbs, the tailback. Sterner gives it to him. He gets hit at the line of scrimmage this time and knocked down. Well, one time too many on that play. He's got 105 yards now on 15 carries.
2nd and 8, Arkansas.
Tennessee looking at a 2nd and 8 here, trying to dig in defensively. The Hogs trying to get on the scoreboard. A field goal ties it. Touchdown puts them ahead. Sterner at quarterback. Not getting any pressure. Got plenty of time to throw. Got a man in the end zone. Touchdown, Arkansas. Anthony Lucas, who did it to him last year, is doing it again today.
I'll tell you the key that time. Sterner had time to sit in the pocket, hold it, wait for the play to develop. Lucas ran the post deep downfield, and another great throw by Sterner, but it starts in front, and he had time to look downfield and make the throw.
There's a big first down, a big extra point, because this could put you out of the field goal time situation. It's up there, and it is good. It's 28-24. So Tennessee is 3 minutes and 44 seconds away from being totally eliminated from any hopes of a national championship. Or, if you want to look at it optimistically, there are 3:44. That much time to get down and score and win this thing. We'll take a break and be back with more of the action here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Tennessee trails Arkansas 28-24.
Undisputed champion.
Hi, I'm Kenny Mayne, along with Dan Patrick, who will now speak. Don't miss SportsCenter on ESPN and Comcast Cable.
If I had one of those TV rating boxes on my television, the #1 show in the country would be 11 p.m. SportsCenter. Okay, maybe it won't hit #1, but it'll definitely give Dharma and Greg a run for their money.
Going against Tennessee right now. The crowd, Arkansas predominated crowd, of course, really into it. The Arkansas players are fired up sky high. They have got a 4-point lead, 28-24. Tennessee's got 3 minutes and 44 seconds, and their last 2 opportunities with the football have fizzled poorly. So they, Andy, have got to turn things around dramatically in that area, but they do have time to do it.
3:44. There's not a lot of time, but it is still, in football sense, that's enough time to get it down the field and get points on the board. But you have to be aware of the clock and execute very well.
There's the kick return. It's going to be a decent one out across the 30 by Leonard Scott. Sterner, by the way, is 18 of 28 for 220 yards and 3 touchdowns. And here in the second half, Arkansas has run the ball effectively as well.
Another factor that the coaches can think now, in situations they have 4 downs to get a first down. There's Tennessee's not going to punt the ball in this situation, so you have an extra down to work with as far as getting first down. You don't want to get it down to a fourth down situation, but you can if you have to.
Crowd trying to affect this ball game by making a lot of noise, and they're doing that. Here's the pass complete to Eric Parker, right at the first down marker.
Good first down play on first down. And again, Tennessee's in the situation. They're not in the situation where they have to fly to the line of scrimmage and hurry in a hurry-up situation, but they do have to be aware of the clock and get in and out of the huddle very quickly. When I say it's a first down, well, that's a good measure. I think it's going to be close.
Stops the clock at 3 minutes and 24 seconds. That becomes the important thing in this stadium right now, the clock. And, of course, with every tick of it, it favors Arkansas. The Hogs leading 28-24. Looks like it's going to be an inch or two short.
Tennessee has 2 timeouts remaining. It would be awful nice if we had 3 right now in this situation.
There you go. So it's second down and just an inch or so to go for a first down, but does give Tennessee an opportunity to maybe use a variety of plays right here if they so desire. And they can go on and try to nail down this first down. And that's what they're going to do. T. Martin on a sneak, and he almost broke it.
Nice awareness that time by T. Martin. They overloaded one side and had it clogged in the middle. He saw the opening and took advantage of it.
8 yards to the 50. Harris made the tackle with the Tennessee.
Not many plays, a quarterback sneaks that get you 8 yards.
It's a big play, a big 8 yards. That's a big chunk of yardage in this situation.
So the ball is at midfield. 3 minutes remaining in the contest. 3 receivers set left, 1 to the right. Shotgun formation for
the screen.
Tennessee, it's Dante Stallworth down to close to the first down marker before he is knocked out of bounds by Kent.
See, Arkansas is not backing off at all. They're still bringing the blitzes and trying to get in T. Martin's face, and that's why Tennessee came back for the screen. Didn't work as well as the other ones, but still for 8 yards, that's a pretty good play on first down.
He's a couple of yards shy of the first. We're under 2.5 minutes. Tennessee into desperation time right now. Cedric Wilson goes in motion. T. Martin rolls to his left and fires way over the head of everybody. Cedric was in the neighborhood, but it was way over his head. So it becomes a 3rd down and 2. The only good thing about that one, it did stop the clock.
3rd down 2.
Well, 3rd and 2 again. We said earlier in this series, Tennessee's not going to punt, so you have 2 downs to get 2 yards. You really, obviously you want to get it on 3rd down here and get some yardage. If you have an extra down to play with, you can even afford to run the ball here if you really wanted to.
Travis Henry is the tailback. They use a set with 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, and go to a shotgun and fire it incomplete.
Got batted at the line, I think.
So it comes down, folks, to 1 play. 4th down and 2. 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go. It would be very difficult for Tennessee to get their hands back on the football. It was tipped by number 55.
Kind of surprised Tennessee didn't actually run the ball there, but it was a situation where the ball got batted and probably would have been a first down if it hadn't got tipped at the line of scrimmage.
All right, you know what's riding on this. 2 yards for a first. 4th down. T. Martin throws it. It's going to be a first down by inches. Dante Stallworth, it appears, has it.
Well, that was a heck of a catch by Stallworth in a crucial situation. A dangerous play. Tennessee went back to the receiver screen. This time Arkansas was in press coverage. The corner came up, almost made the play on it. But you'll see here a heck of a catch by Stallworth just to get it. And I don't see who the lineman was. Came out, made a nice block on the corner of the line to dive forward for the first.
There's T rolling to the left. Got pressure. Fires incomplete through the hands of Cedric Wilson. A flag is down. Back where T. Martin is down. We may have roughing the passer.
It's going to be a personal foul against Arkansas. A blow to the head. That's something they look for, and as a quarterback, I think that's a great call. If you hit the quarterback after he's released it anywhere in the head area, that's going to bring out the flag.
Personal foul, blow to the head, against the defense, 15 yards, automatic first down.
All right.
Huge penalty.
You heard it. It was a big, big penalty. A minute 52 remaining. 1-5-2. Tennessee trails. Arkansas leading 28-24. The Vols trying to stay alive to get some sort of a shot and maybe repeating as national champions. They have to win this, of course, in order to do that. Arkansas has other ideas. Travis Henry is the tailback, but T. Martin's going to throw if he can. He can't, so he just throws it away. And another flag goes down. And let's see if it's another call against Arkansas. No intentional grounding this time. It goes against Tennessee, and that is costly because that's a loss of down as well.
Intentional grounding on the offense, spot foul, loss of down, we go to third down.
Second down.
Second down is what it should
Second
be.
down.
Thank you.
You see, Tennessee did have a receiver in the area, but I think the official his judgment was that T just tried to get rid of it to avoid the sack. I don't think he cared that Tennessee had it in the area or not.
Minute 47 remaining. Tennessee trailing Arkansas by 4 points. Ball is on the 29-yard line of Arkansas. Second down and long yardage. T. Martin fires complete. Down to Cedric Wilson. Stops the clock at the 1:36. Well, it's moving now because it is not a first down, so it is still running. Now they use a timeout, Andy.
Well, that's probably a good call. It's going to be a fourth down. This is it's going to be third down, so it's probably not a bad use of a timeout. We still have one left, or Tennessee still has one left, and 2 downs to get about 7 yards. So it's something you need to talk about and be sure of the play call that you want.
Third down and 6 yards to go for a first. The clock shows 1:33 to go. Cedric Wilson, by the way, 5 catches for 93 yards today. So he has done his part. Arkansas fans looking for a huge win, and they thought they had one last year in Knoxville, and it got away from them, and they've been pointing to this game for a year. Frankly, a lot of people didn't think they had the chance to get any revenge today, but they have proven otherwise.
Well, I tell you, I think, anything can happen at any time, especially in this conference. You look at the Florida-South Carolina score. South Carolina's hanging with Florida, and nobody ever expected that to be even remotely close.
28-24 was the final of the 98 game, right? All right, Tennessee now in absolute desperation. T. Martin in the shotgun. Third down, needs 6 for a first. He incomplete. Thought he had it for a second. Cedric Wilson couldn't hang on to it as it came down. So again, Andy, it comes down to one play. Your championship hopes riding on one play.
Well, Tennessee was in this situation last year. You see the incompletion here. Almost came up with it. But, these are the top plays you have to make. You're going to be in ball games like this, especially on the road. You got to be able to make the huge, huge plays. And Tennessee did it a lot last year, and they've made several today.
Fourth down, 6 yards to go for a first. Only a minute 28 remaining in the contest. T. Martin firing incomplete. Arkansas takes over. Cedric Wilson, the intended receiver, but as you saw, he had no chance at all to catch it. And they're already celebrating here in Fayetteville because they feel like with a minute 23 to go, they have knocked the balls off.
With only one timeout remaining, all Arkansas has to do now is to take a knee and run the clock out. See the student section ready to storm the field when the time runs out. A huge, huge win for Arkansas, and Just a devastating loss for Tennessee.
Tell you what, I didn't feel good about the Vols at the beginning of this game, Andy. They just didn't look to be exactly as intense as I thought they should be, and the timing and everything just wasn't quite what I thought it should be.
Well, not really. And Arkansas came out with a huge play early in the game, which kind of set the tempo for the first half with the interception and the touchdown, and then Tennessee did battle back and got the lead and looked like they were in control of the game, and Arkansas came back again and made the plays down the stretch they needed to. And Tennessee came up the last drive to win the game, came up a little short, gave it a great effort and almost got it down, but again in the orange area, has been Tennessee's problem all day today, came up short again in the orange area.
They had their opportunities, more than their share perhaps, but certainly enough opportunity to win this football game, and they just didn't capitalize. So now you go from being concerned about a national championship picture to seeing if you can get in a decent bowl. It's been a strange end of the season, or ending games, we should say, all around the country. There's some stunning things that happened in the past week or two, as they did last year on that last weekend of the college season. Minute 18, and flags fly everywhere as Tennessee probably will be penalized for hitting Sterner. If he's trying to take a knee and you hit him, then Tennessee, what they're trying to do, of course, is to shake the ball loose.
Well, Tennessee's desperate right now, and I wouldn't be surprised. I think they're going to throw Ray Knock out of the game. That just trying to time the snap count, didn't do it. It's, you know, the Arkansas fans don't like it, and I'm sure if it happened in Knoxville, the way around, the Tennessee fans wouldn't like it.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense, 15-yard penalty, ejection.
So Raynock has been ejected, but now the clock shows only a minute 18. All Arkansas has to do is take knee after knee at this point, and there's nothing Tennessee can do.
Take a look here, you see Raynock. Good call. I mean, he's trying to time it out, but that's something you can't do. I mean, that's the only chance Tennessee has is a fumble snap, and that's not going to cause a fumble snap, jumping off sides and hitting the quarterback.
You think of that physical drive at the end of the first half, a couple of more times down in scoring range and nothing in the second half. Wide open pass on a couple of occasions, just a little bit overthrown.
Well, as you said it earlier, Bob, just a second ago, Tennessee had a lot of opportunities to win this game today and didn't take advantage of them. And Arkansas had their opportunities and did take advantage of them. I think Tennessee, you know, you talk about them Tennessee, I think the Tennessee guys played hard, but didn't always play smart and didn't play well. So I think the effort was there. Guys were giving it their all. It just wasn't Tennessee's day today.
Desire was there, but again, something was just not in sync today.
The execution wasn't there, and just didn't get the job done. And you got to take your hats off to Arkansas. They did what they had to do to win this game.
29 seconds. This, I would think, would be for Coach Philip Fulmer. Well, he's had very few defeats, but this one has to be very, very bitter.
Well, the situation, this is probably as devastating as the Memphis loss a few years back when Tennessee now had the chance and fought their way back to get into BCS, ranked number 2, a chance to defend their national championship. Now those hopes are gone, but still 2 games left, a lot to play for. 2 big rivals in Kentucky and Vanderbilt coming up, and they're going to be just like Arkansas. Kentucky and Vanderbilt, that's their biggest games of the year, the Tennessee game, and they're going to be shooting for us.
Goalpost is coming down at the north end zone. We're going to take a little break right here. We'll be back with some final comments at Fayetteville. We're telling you that Arkansas upsets Tennessee 28-24.
Coming up next on 10 News Tonight, are Georgia drivers the worst? Well, some truck drivers think so. In fact, one group of 18-wheelers surveyed says Georgia four-wheelers are dangerous. Dan Cohen has the story. And a Cobb County man loses his life in a one-car accident on a rural Floyd County road. And with bad weather coming in the Flight 990 cockpit voice recorder in Washington, the USS Grapple heads back to port. Well, it looks like fall has fallen outside. Jason McLeod takes a look at your 10 news.